Wave at the camera, kiddo.
Boink, good. And starting the music. Okay. Hey to anybody listening on Twitch. Let's see, do we have...
Hey,
I don't think anybody's actually in there yet. Hey to anybody
nobody's
listening on
twitching
Twitch.
yet.
Oh, right, I gotta mute
Hey.
myself.
It's her
Okay.
booty.
It's her booty? I'm Mr. Booty. Mr.
Yeah,
Booty?
do that.
Is that one of the Mr. Men?
Yeah, there's only one person on Twitch. I'm guessing it's me. So. You notice how Marco has this halo of light above him? You think it's because
That's me.
he smudged his
It's an
camera?
aura.
Is that what it is? No, auras in two fucking
Nope.
lines like the spotlights from the Twin Towers after they got blown up. It's really disrespectful, jerk.
Depends on what your viewpoint is of the whole, Twin Towers. If you're a conspiracy theorist, if you're, whatever else.
Okay. Okay, and we've got 5 seconds coming on, guys. Ed, you're typing. Somebody's typing. And welcome to Monday. What the hell is the day? Oh, July 3rd, 2017. Hi, Jean. Jean wants us to be nice to her tonight. Oof.
Nah.
Hello, Gene.
So there you go.
Hi.
I guess we could do some intros here real quick. I want to let everybody know we are broadcasting from the beautiful downtown Williamsburg out of Retro Daddy-O, where you can get all your old and new nerdy needs. Okay, now, let's see. We have a guest with us tonight. We got Marco Donkey Show Ojeda.
Hello.
Hello.
What
Hey,
are you
man.
drinking and smoking, man?
I am.
Wait, let me interrupt,
smoking
because he's looking out the window. Right when I introduced him, he's like looking for the government trucks already.
Already, man. Yeah, already. No, I am smoking a Ave Maria Divina,
Ooh, nice.
and I am drinking a Presidente, which is Mexican brandy,
Mm.
and Diet Sprite because I'm diabetic, so can't
Did you eat
overdose
4
on sugar.
bananas with that? Any...
I thought about it, but I'm not cramping up right
No,
now.
it creates a gel. You don't want this. Then we also have Andrea, Camera Conspiracy Night Owl, with us.
I don't know nothing about no conspiracy. Oh, what? Hi. I'm drinking. I have tea and I have coffee, and I'm not smoking until I go outside.
What are you going to smoke then?
Cigar. I don't know. One of my Oliva ones.
Okay. Oh, you got an Oliva?
I have one left.
Oh, nice, nice. It might be a bit light for your palate now, though.
It is, but whatever. What
It's
are you
me,
laughing
Memphis.
at?
I don't know. What is she pointing and laughing at? She got Kato behind her for everybody listening. Scream hello, Kato.
Hello, Kato.
Very good. Wow. And then we also have Ed, Military Ops Summers.
Military ops. You can't tell nobody that. That's a secret. Only the government knows about that.
I won't tell anybody.
Appropriate, though, because I'm wearing my camouflage
You are.
underwear and my camouflage hat. Because of the topic tonight, I don't even want anybody to see my ass or my head. So
Yeah, we can't see your brown penis because it's all like camoed in.
camouflage.
And then last but not least, Kevin 007 Crew.
Good evening, everybody. This evening, as usual, I'm drinking coffee.
What kind?
Yeah.
What kind?
I'm drinking a Nescafe Zero.
See, when we had Daphne, she always had these great coffees. Like, here's Donkey Penis Coffee, or whatever she'd have every week.
That's a great coffee.
I
Is that coffee or tea bagging?
Ah.
See, now Marco had to go and leave. So, but
You get that at the Donkey Show, right?
I did speak to Madison Hatter, and he is sending all of us samples of the coffee and tea, so we should all be able to have Mad Hatter coffee soon,
Awesome.
including straight there to the Isle of Wight. I told him, I'll send it to Ed. He's like, just give me Ed's address, which Ed never did give me his address to give to
You got my
Hatter.
address.
I know, I just got to look on my phone instead of my computer, and I'm very lazy. I'm American.
I know where he lives.
Merca. Okay.
Come up and see me sometime.
God, I wish I could. Because you got a whole nother room now. So before we get to this week's topic of government surveillance, which I love the fact that we're doing this right before July 4th. I think that's great. And by the way,
Literally,
You know-
right before.
Not to interrupt you or anything, but the funniest I couldn't have scripted this better. Honestly, I shit you not. The reason why I looked behind me is because my doorbell rang, like legit. There was a uniformed officer outside.
Oh my God.
But not for what we think. Well, what happened is I for paranoia reasons, I have security cameras all over my property.
Right.
Well, there's a fireworks stand across the street from me. They got broken into last week, and
Is it
X
run by Hispanics?
No, actually, it's not, which is surprising. Anyway, so it just so happened that my security cameras caught some of it, and so they're like, "Hey, do you have this and this?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me a chip, and I'm not going to give you one of my own, obviously, because you don't return them.
Right.
It gets lost in evidence for years, and I'm not going to spend money on it. But if you give me one, I'll." So I was like, holy shit, there's a cop here. I was like, oh, and then I clicked on me. Oh, yeah, he's here for that. But yeah, couldn't have scripted it better.
Yeah,
That's
see
right.
that? Oh, by the way, what am I drinking? I am drinking a Wicked Grove hard cider, crisp apple, with a shot of Fireball cinnamon whiskey in it, and it is really, really good. And tonight I am smoking Cornell and Deal's. I just put stuff everywhere. Sorry, got excited.
It's an odd name.
It's especially for tobacco. I just put stuff everywhere. C&D's. What do I got? Autumn Evening tonight, I think. Sorry, I just tobaccoed all over my
Everything's
keyboard.
kind of autumn-y.
It
Your
is.
drink and your...
It is. I'm having a very fall day. And I didn't actually...
In the middle of summer.
It is. And then where's my reading glasses? Oh, whatever. I have a really cool pipe. I don't feel like reading the damn name. I forget which one it is. Because I smoke them, not read them. So anybody have anything interesting happen this week?
I went to a local college and whipped out my snake in front of a bunch of students.
Really?
That's great.
Were any of them female this time?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, that's a pleasant change.
Maybe one, right?
Did they like the snake? I mean, that's the question. Did they like the snake?
They like the snake more than me, I think.
Eh?
That's understandable.
Can't complain then, right?
Oh my goodness.
At least they don't follow you.
No,
home,
it was pretty cool. The local college has a big animal husbandry course because the island's quite an agricultural place.
It is. I've read
And they're
the
doing this section of their course where they're studying exotic pets. So because I helped run the local reptile club, me and one of the other guys from the society took a bunch of large snakes in for them to meet up close, which was cool.
So you and another guy took your large snakes.
We both went and whipped out our snakes in front of a bunch of students who appreciated it greatly.
But yet, like 2 sentences before that, I heard 2 words I never thought I'd hear in the same sentence: husbandry and exotic. It's like, hold on. I thought, here in the U.S. that's illegal in certain places.
That's what happens when a white woman marries a Latino or a black man. That's exotic husbandry.
And instantly our credit goes up 200 points.
Yep.
Yeah, you're no longer that guy. You're exotic husbandry. Well done, gentlemen. Oh, anybody else do anything cool this week?
I went and got an X-ray done because my wife thought I dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah,
and I told her no. It's just I slipped in the bathroom, but I told her no. I wasn't touching myself. I saw I don't know. I saw something in my imagination run across my foot, and that's had nothing to do with the noose or no sort of autoerotic asphyxiation at all. But she didn't seem to buy that.
Was it Kevin's snake going across your foot?
No, because I wouldn't have moved my foot and slid, fell. I would have I would have embraced it and been like, hey, you know what? How you doing?
Hip thrusting could have made it slippery, though. So, Ed, didn't you have a story about a phone call?
Yeah. So Wednesday, the wife had a very, very rough day at work. So I decided I'd be good to her. She got home, sit her down, cooked her dinner, listened to what she had to say, put on some R&B music, went down, soaked in the hot tub. A little bit later, the beds are creaking, there's some moaning, there's some heavy breathing. I'm starting to get into my stride.
Was your wife in the room yet?
Yep. Yeah, giving her everything Daddy had to give, and all of a sudden, this alarm starts coming from my office from across the hall. And we got a new alarm system, so I don't know what the fire alarm, the burglar alarm, or anything sounds like. So we're grabbing shotguns, pistols, rakes, fire extinguishers,
What kind of
pitchforks,
sex you
knives.
have, man?
Well, hey, it is me. We go running across the hall. It's my goddamn computer. Travis is calling me on Facebook Messenger. You owe me some ass, buddy, so come on up here and turn it up.
Crack it open. Crack it open.
Cracking open a cold one with the boys.
I see where this show is going. We started out with Kevin Snake. we went to Marco's autoerotica. Ed's interrupted sex, where I get to. Andrea, do you got anything that's going to lead to somebody getting laid here?
Oh yeah, some of the books I was reading, but that's about it.
Well, give us graphic details. I mean, what happened?
Or graphic novels?
There's like vampires and werewolves and ghosts and
Gay vampires.
gay vampires. It's fabulous.
In the good way.
Yeah. And I don't know, Gal character's awesome. Just go get her books and read them, and you'll know.
Okay, so if a lady vampire is going down on a regular human, is it okay to use teeth or no teeth? Normally, I'm not okay with the girl using teeth, but I mean, what's protocol with that?
What's wrong with teeth?
Well, I mean,
If it's a
Vampires.
vampire.
yeah, if you're a vampire.
I imagine there's a verbal issue there as well. I mean, you can't just tell her to suck it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
misinterpretation, you know.
literal. I mean, you're like, no, that's not what I.
Next thing you know,
you know.
you're expecting the most pleasurable experience. The next thing you know, you're fighting for your life from desanguination.
Just a tip.
There needs to be some kind of protocol established here.
Yeah, that you can't say just a tip. That's a male line. We're the ones that always say it's just a tip.
Yeah, and she gets all excited every time you tell her you got to drain the main vein. So this weekend, I had some friends over to play some geeky card games, some Munchkin, Red Dragon Inn, played some categories. Now, I had some work. I had to finish writing an article on the computer for the newspaper I work for, and I was in there working, and they showed up at noon, and I go in there to work for an hour, hour and a half, and it's all quiet in the living room, right outside of my office, quiet. And I walk out. Now, I got a teenage son, 14 years old, sitting on the couch on his phone. And I look at Andrea next to him, and she's on her tablet. And then I look at my friends that came over, Emmy and Aaron. They're both on their phones. I'm like, this is...
I was reading a book.
I am throwing an introvert party. I invited people over. There are 4 people in the same room, every single one of them not talking to each other. I'm okay with this.
That's the new thing, man. That's the new hip thing.
Well, the thing is, as an introvert, as somebody who enjoys my downtime, private time, and doesn't like excited, wild parties, I was very okay, because every once in a while somebody would stop and talk, and everybody would, put down their phones and listen and interact, and then pick it all back up and go back to ignoring each other. And I'm like, this is okay. Not bad at all.
Well, don't think of it as them ignoring each other. Think of them as accepting them into what they're doing,
Right.
even though they're not watching or reading the same thing. Like, hey, you're still here, so technically we watched a movie together.
Yeah.
We read a book together.
That was kind of my thought, and that's actually what I said to him. I'm like, look, I see you're all like just over here doing this thing. Is anybody bothered by this? And they're all like, no. I'm like, okay, then I'm okay with this. As long as you guys aren't like, how come you're not entertaining me? If you're all like, no, we're cool, fuck everyone. Yeah, carry on.
Well, that's a different type of party.
That is.
Yeah, right.
That's a different kind of introvert.
Oh.
You're welcome. Hey, let's do an opening toast.
Yeah.
Here's to just the tip.
The line I've been using since 19. No, it's like,
You mean like I told him last week about tuna can? You remember that on the Slack conversation, Marco? Yeah, I told him about tuna can, where you're like, oh, it's really thick but too short to get in, and I'm like, or it smells like a can of dead fish. I don't know. But anyhow, hey, here's to those guys not listening to our calls anytime we say certain words.
Here's to that.
here.
You're here, they're there, everywhere.
Hey, somebody had a good clinker this week. Who was that? Was that you, Ed?
Uh-huh.
You have a good clinker? Oh, that's
Ed's
it.
always had a good clinker.
Wow, I didn't know you were that excited to be on the show this week, man.
Oh, always.
Nice. It's a nice. Okay, let's go into our first song, come back and talk about government surveillance. Our first song is Rockwell with Somebody's Watching Me. We'll be back. So now we have 4 minutes if anybody needs to do anything. And
No, the cops
Yeah, I
are
need to
gone.
work out with
the cops are gone. We have 5 people in Twitch. Let me send a message and say hi. All.
Yay!
Hey,
Do that.
did you put up the roll
Hey,
call picture
Twitchers.
or the
Yeah.
what's everybody drinking? I didn't even think to check that. We could check
Yeah,
that.
we
when
got
get back.
Captain Coke and Ice Water and Burger Monster. Huh?
Isn't that a cheese?
Say Burger
I
Monster.
don't know.
Sounds like a cartoon from a kid's. Sounds like a character from a kid's.
I'm
cartoon.
still sticking with it's a cheese. Hey, Jammin is on Twitch. Yo, buddy. What's up?
Yo, Jammin.
Hey, Jammin, I'm curious. What is the sound delay between Twitch and the radio broadcast? Because I know they're both set at different, like one's a 20-second delay and one's a 10 or 15-second delay. So I was just curious. Let me know. That's the nice thing about this, Marco. We can actually talk to them and they reply back in the little different chat things. It's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, or they ignore us pointedly. Either one. It could happen. Oh, see there's a vampire chick. Andrea with her picture. Oh, Kevin in a classroom with a
I'll
bunch
put
of
that
kids.
picture up
They gave you off to me.
You say that like it was evidence in the injunction hearing.
there.
Here's a photograph of the defendant in a
Not yet.
classroom with a bunch of children.
Okay. What is everyone drinking? Oh, we could talk about that when we get back. Yeah, I forgot about it. About 5 seconds difference. I wonder, is Twitch behind the radio stations or is Twitch ahead? Because I think I can adjust how long of a delay Twitch has, so I might be able to sync it up so they listen to.
Send a picture of him.
That cigar looks so good, man. That's about a medium body, right?
It's mild medium.
That's what I
Talking
was
about
It's really velvety though. I mean, I had it for a while. Decided might as well smoke it eventually.
Nah, that's a good choice. It's a good one for the show, and it should last you most of the way through the show, unless if you're just really a strong sucker.
I'm an extreme slow smoker. This will last me easily an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Twitch is behind. So
Twitch, who's behind?
hold on, I'm trying to.
You know?
Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Please try the fish.
Mobile live dashboard. What the fuck? My message channel. Oh, it's Twitch.
See, the reason Twitch is behind is because it has to go through the government filters before they can kind of put it on live.
Hey, Win has just joined us.
Just
there.
to check, you can all hear a clicking sound through the headphones like I can, can't you?
Mhm.
That's all right. For a minute, I was paranoid. I thought it was to do with that white van that's been parked outside for a while.
They don't use white vans anymore. I saw it in a movie.
That must be true.
So
Katie
Twitch
said
is.
Puerto Ricans and Mexicans are the same.
Depending on which part of the country you're in, yeah. I mean, if I go to the East Coast, like in Florida, I'm easily Cuban. If I go, up, New York or the,
Oh, dude, you don't know many Cubans,
that
do you?
area.
You're way too laid back to be Cuban.
I'm easily Puerto Rican. If I go to California, I'm more than likely El Salvadorian.
And if you
it
go
just
to an
depends.
airport, you're Middle Eastern. 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, I'm Arabic quick.
Okay,
See,
we're coming
it's so
back,
much easier for me. I'm the same thing no matter where I go in the United States.
And we're back. Oh, let's see. We had people drinking Captain and Coke for Gene, ice water for Sergeant Pish. Ian has arrived. He's enjoying a cold pale wheat ale and Burger Monster. Dropped off. But
What?
Burger Monster is a cheese, right? Or is it a wine? I don't know.
Is he
Wine's
drinking cheese?
He's drinking
That's
cheese.
cheesy.
A little liquid cheese sliding down his throat.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
Gene says time for boobs.
Lower.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't see
Time for boobs.
That's Ed for you. Look, we get boobs and immediately he's critical.
Hold on. I'm looking for boobs. I'm busy. Yeah,
No,
you missed the
Gene
boost by a
can't
couple
it's
inches.
not low enough.
Yeah. Consensus
Come on,
has said. And then,
Or did the government censor it? I think the government censored it.
by the
I'm
way,
telling you, it's conspiracy. They're everywhere.
when doing research for this show, an hour ago, pulling up links, I had a few things happen this week. What's that?
I was gonna say you've now infected us all with a virus in our computer. We're all going to jail.
So you know how last week I mentioned that an event site sent me an email to boost this particular episode. Once I mentioned it on air last week, I suddenly started getting emails about other episodes. Like, they're like, fuck, we fucked up, he noticed. And now they're like, oh no, we meant these other episodes too. And while researching this, yeah, totally true. And while researching this, my computer locked up multiple times, and I had to reboot it. Yeah,
seems about right.
Yeah.
Alexa, are you connected to the CIA?
I don't have an Alexa.
That you know of.
Your computer keeps locking up because you're trying to research links whilst surfing porn at the same time.
Yeah.
No, if I'm surfing porn,
or at least I assume
my
that.
hands are
That's
busy.
why mine is.
No, porn gets all the attention.
That's right. It's
Duh.
Yeah, I'm British though. For me, porn is a woman showing her ankle.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Or cankle, depending on.
Normally behind her ear.
So you hear that, Gene? When Ed said lower for Kevin, go all the way down. Let's see.
The NSA, the only part of government that actually listens, that is funny.
That's another thing.
That.
When researching, the vast majority of articles I found blamed Republicans. And I'm like, wait a minute, I totally remember Obama putting through a few things that had to do with this situation. But I'm like, well, if it's not, you think it'd still be in the news. If you Google articles, you should be able to find articles. And Democrats went behind and cleaned up. Since Clinton, Democrats have been really good at hiding things and cleaning up messes afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just such a mess,
It's sticky.
Don't go to the dry cleaners.
That's right. It's how big was that mess? I mean, you think as president he would have been getting off more often.
I agree with Chris Rock, old special he did, Bigger and Blacker was the one he did, where he said, the president should be allowed to have somebody there just for his sexual desires and needs, off the books, paid in cash, back door, and let her in the back door, the back entrance, that way, hey, because, once you hit a certain level of stature, sometimes the wife might not want to do some of them things, and the kink is gone,
If it's any consolation, I am pretty sure Donald Trump is fulfilling everything you just said and more.
I don't see Melania as a powerful pegging type,
Oh, no, I didn't mean with his wife. I meant with somebody else he brings in and pays cash. Because Melania, he was fooling around with her while still married with his previous wife.
True. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Trump fits the pegging type of bill, though.
I don't want to think of Trump in any sexual situation.
No.
Thanks.
And how does the hair play into that?
It just flops back and forth while he's going, fire me! Fire me!
That would be so distracting.
That's great.
I mean, seriously, how do you have relations with someone when their hair is waving at you?
I mean, maybe that's part of the gig, I mean, just like some men like to pull hair, maybe some women like to comb hair. I don't know.
Or just like pin it down or something?
So nobody actually makes fun of him for having a toupee. That's not a toupee. That's like his real little fuzz bucket, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, technically, if it was a toupee, it's still his hair. He bought it, so, I'm assuming he bought it.
I have had a lot of my female black friends say exactly that. Yeah, it's real. I paid for it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's mine. I paid for it. Valid point.
Absolutely. It's, I have a bunch of people liking a post from, like, April 29th today, and I'm like, what the hell brought this post back up?
What is it?
It's a lot of agents from different agencies that are kind of trying to distract us. It's sleight of hand, They're doing something with the right hand, left hand's getting first reach around. I mean, it's sleight of hand.
It's the Post for Simpleton series. When I got the custom name for the channel after getting 100 subscribers, people are liking that post today. And yeah, I guess, as the government is researching shit, one of them actually clicked like it, put it back into the algorithm, and here we go. So, do we actually want to talk about... Yes, Ed.
Jean says, and I don't know if she actually should have told us this or not, because now that she's told us, she's probably got to kill us. But she says there are only 2 offices of the government, I guess the 3 letters that she's talking about, one of the 2 of the 3 letters, that still do surveillance. Most of it is outsourced. So not just the government is getting your private shit. Joe Blow down the street is getting your private shit.
No, by outsourced, I think they mean people in India. Hello?
Yeah,
are you having a sex with the robot?
It's some Pakistani guy named Tom. Hello, my name is Tom. It's like, fuck you, you're not Tom, dude. I'm Tom. You're not Tom. I know a Tom.
I am Tomatillo. I am Hispanic and I'm that of the tomato. That's what they tell me when I am in California. I am Mexican.
Okay, so what accent is that?
Yeah, that's Tom.
Tom, yeah. Tom.
Oh.
He's from all around.
Yeah, he's from just Main Town, USA,
There are certain accents I do, Marco. If you listen carefully and you encourage me to go on, they start changing countries. If I ever do Scottish, it becomes Jamaican, then becomes Middle Eastern. It's really fun. I like to travel while doing accents.
Well, my doctor, my physician, she is from somewhere like deep in Africa, and she has like the thick African voice. And I asked her when I first, went in before she probed me, for my, and she was like, I was like, so where are you from? She's like, well, I'm born and raised here, she's like, but I spent like 20 years growing up and whatever in Ireland. I'm like, that's an interesting, combo you got going on there, man. It's like, why not?
Oh, I know what we should do before we actually get into the heavy discussion. Marco is a man. What, Andrea? What, Andrea?
What'd you say?
Marco?
Porno?
Polo.
Porno?
Porno? Okay.
Porno? We're gonna do it right. No, it's like
try to set up for a joke and she gets all shy.
Well, you were supposed to say Marco again.
I did say Marco again.
And I said,
okay, can I just say me?
Porno.
Me, Polo. Me, Polo.
Me.
Pullover, jumper, romper. What? Ed likes rompers.
Yeah,
Ed must
Not
have
this guy.
Ed must have got a nap today. He's much more active today.
Oh, I'm tired. Shit.
Are you? Kevin said he's tired too. So, but anyhow, what I was saying.
2 a.m. in UK.
Marco's a big cigar guy. He likes big cigars, if you know what I mean.
And,
I got a big cigar.
He also runs a radio station. Is that all you want me to say?
Well, I
I
wouldn't say run because I'm not nimble. I'd say manage, not run. There's no running involved with me.
There's a couple jokes here, but I feel like you should start them because.
Well, I mean, like me, I got 2 speeds, walk and run, and I'm only running if there's a dog behind me or bullets. And at that, if any of you guys are with me, I don't have to be the fastest. I just got to knock one of you down, and I'm good.
Yeah, and then climb on top of them, and then wait, what?
and something.
Do you want to plug your station or not?
Yeah. Okay. So, so I'm the general manager and minority stock owner in KLMA Radio in Hobbs, New Mexico. We do technically regional Mexican, but more specifically Spanish because it's all the same. So,
Wow, that's an American point of view.
Yeah, that's where we're at this point. It's all the same, Been involved in radio in some aspect literally my entire life, as it's kind of a family deal that I wanted nothing to do with, but yet
it makes the money.
I am.
It lets you buy a cigar.
Yeah.
So.
Lets me buy a cigar. Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah,
when we were
so-
talking about this week, how come you didn't mention what shipments you got in today? What do you get?
I was trying to be modest, but you know,
I'll
I
let you
mean,
know.
Fuck modest.
well, I got me. Let's see. I got me a box of CAO
Oh, nice.
Fuma in Corda,
Gotcha.
which is the second release in
So
the
you have a
Brazil.
problem with the Spanish names, then,
series.
don't you?
Well, no, that's Brazilian. You know, I don't speak
Portuguese,
Portuguese.
huh?
I don't speak Portuguese. I don't speak any of that. Oh, funny story. In high school, we had a Brazilian foreign exchange student, and one of our
Nice.
teachers says, "Does anybody know Brazilian?" And we're like, "Are you serious, dude? You're teaching a government class. They speak Portuguese." Even we knew as stupid, like 16-year-old kids, like it's Portuguese, but whatever.
That's great that you
then-
mentioned a government class. Go on.
Got me a nice little bundle of some black honey.
Yeah,
Um, from-
What's
from
her
work.
name?
Black honey. That's what she goes by. Then got me my holy grail, which is the Viaje Zombie Biohazard Red.
How are those?
And I haven't tried them yet. I have a couple of the original releases left from a couple years ago, and they're great. One thing I've learned about Viaje is they're spicy, peppery. They'll punch you in the dick right up front. And if you don't like it, but you still want it, let it age a little bit. It tones it down. Instead of punching you in the dick, it'll lick it first and then punch it. So, you know,
I like that
kind of like
description.
those.
See, that needs to be a YouTube review, man.
I
All
was
of that
just
out of a
thinking
cigar?
that. Yeah.
Ed
be an
suddenly wants
amazing
cigars
series.
now.
Tatum wants her dick punched.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You know,
I'll take care of it for you, darling.
Okay, so let's see here. Oh, I don't know if we're avoiding the topic or just having a good time.
It's foreplay. You know, you
Is it
can't
foreplay?
just if you jump right into it, it's rape. The government's really kind of weird with rapey things these days. So you kind of gotta get consent. Get the foreplay going. Not my rules. It's just how society is these days.
Oh, by the way, in the Facebook event page, I'm going to go ahead and post the Scoundrels Pipe and Cigar Club, which is a closed group on Facebook that Marco and I are part of and Andrew is part of. So if anybody wants a good group of inappropriate schmucks to hang out with, they're great guys. I love them. I think
And cigars. They talk about cigars.
they do.
Yeah,
Pictures of
you
cigars.
would be talking about scoundrels.
There we go. There's that patch check. You want to do a patch check in case anyone wonder? There's the fat boy.
Oh yeah. There's my
There
fat
we go.
boy.
What other patches you got over there?
I'm a member of a couple other groups. Some of them are a little bit more risque, not really risque, but kind of nothing really cigar related. It's supposed to be cigar pay. Oh, anyways, I'm also Ruffian, so shout
I
out
love
to
their
Ruffians.
patch, by the way. Their logo to me is
Yeah.
one of the best logos out there.
It is pretty cool. I'm also a member of the Hoochly Shack, and they
Hold
have
that
a
up
filthy
to the
Hoochly
camera.
again.
Let me see. Okay,
Oh,
that's interesting.
And within that group, they have the original members, and I am a filthy
Nice.
original. There's a lot of kind of like I said, it's supposed to be a cigar page, but it's kind of more of posting shit that should be flagged from the government because a lot of times like 10 minutes later, like, hey, what happened to my post? And they're like, well, I got a message from Facebook saying that the original person deleted it or it's inappropriate. I'm like, well, shit, that's the whole point. What else isn't that what Facebook is for? Posting inappropriate
It
stuff?
was supposed to be, right?
I mean-
That was the original. Do you remember Facebook when it had no pictures and it had a character limit? You could only.
Yeah,
you want to be in another group?
What group?
sure.
Oh, you want to be a pirate?
All right, I'm posting a link to Airship Lollipop. That is my group.
Nice.
I'm the Dread Pirate Cuddles of the Airship Lollipop. I kill people with kindness. My kindness is my sword.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There you go. I posted a thing. Just go join.
everybody,
We're gonna have patches too.
we are. Okay,
Very cool.
let's actually talk about the topic. Why am I hearing myself? Who am I hearing myself on?
Government.
Oh, that's
Government.
properly.
When you get feedback, usually that's what it is.
That's
Yep.
usually, yeah, it makes sense. It's it is chilly in here. Did they turn on the AC when I wasn't looking too?
They might have. I mean,
It's just that natural chill down your spine from knowing they're watching you.
So how many of us actually think the government monitors citizens, normal, average citizens, on a regular basis?
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, without divulging too much information, but one good thing about being in radio is we actually get faxes. Well, we don't, not anymore faxes, but we get emails from sheriff's departments, police departments saying we're going to be conducting such and such deal going on. Just a heads up, but you're not allowed to tell anybody. This is just that way. If people call you, you could just tell them this official line. We don't know. Please contact the police department. Please contact
So
state
that's
troop
when
or
we hit
whatever.
like orange or red on like the terrorist thing, and there's just some.
Well,
shit
not
going
even that. Just regular random stuff. That they'll let us know. They'll say, hey, you know what? The local drug task force, is going to be, using the helicopter a whole lot, in the next 48 hours. So just kind of ignore that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you're getting ready for raids. That's cool. Let me call my buddies real quick. Hey, get the hell out now. But from a secure line, obviously. I mean, payphone.
How do you get a secure line or a payphone anymore?
I'm surprised.
Burner cells.
Yeah, burner cells. That's it, man. Burner cells. That's the way to go.
Jeez.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you really wanted to dupe the government, go old-fashioned snail mail. I mean,
Yeah.
That's too
That's a
difficult.
good tactic, man.
Yeah.
You got to assume that all of their efforts are focused on like modern digital shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
paying some guy to sit there and read your mail.
Not
Well,
anymore.
I say that. Now that we've said that live on air, from tomorrow morning they will be.
Tomorrow morning, everybody's like, thousands of people across our local areas are going to be reporting open mail or mail that never got to their destination.
They have like found a way to the scrolls from the Library of Alexandria that were like burnt little crisp remnants. They have found how to X-ray them now, where they're actually able to withdraw information. So don't think for a moment that snail mail is safe. If they are following you and tracking you, no doubt there is something in that post office computer that makes them drop that in a bucket that gets checked and sent out the next day or something instead. Or maybe I'm being paranoid. I don't know.
No, and that's actually something that actually does happen, and I know this because I had a buddy of mine. I have lots of guys that I've became friends with and connections across the world, and I have a buddy in Belgium.
Mhm.
And he sends me cigars quite a bit. I send him cigars quite a bit. Stuff I can't get here that's only exclusive to them. Stuff that he can get, but it's like triple the price of what we can get. Anyways, on several occasions, I've had my packages. I've had a little note saying, hey, come by the post office. We want to speak to you. And I'm like, hey, nothing's illegal. And luckily, I'm smart enough to know what I'm getting ahead of time. And do research and say, nope, this is illegal to send in the mail. This is not what that is. Or, it is what it is, but it's not that particular product specific, so therefore eat a dick and give me my stuff,
Yeah.
You have no, so, like I said, that happens more often than not,
But by the way, if anybody wants to watch a streaming video, you can go to twitch.com/Talk of the Tavern and watch. Feel free to join us there if you like.
Every time you say Twitch today, I just want to kind of like start doing that.
And I'm right now.
You should do that.
Sorry, I'm posting in the Scoundrels group to maybe get some of those guys to tune in. Not a new post, on the one that I already posted because I don't want to be annoying to everyone.
Put a disclaimer in there though that if they work for law enforcement, they cannot. It's recommended that they don't listen
Okay.
or watch.
Okay.
Just to make sure. Just to kind of clear ourselves of any potential.
Just tell them do not listen because they can't handle it.
Yeah, just something like that.
Why don't you guys go respond to it and put that in there? Do that for them.
All right.
That way it's not just all me begging for attention. Okay.
I'll do it.
You do it. You should do it.
I'll do it.
Do it.
I was going to say, I'll beg
Let me go
first.
find it.
So anyhow, now I do believe, and I believe this is standard information, that there are certain keywords that are constantly tracked over the airwaves, phones. I don't know about online Skype communications, etc. I don't know if they can track that. But certain keywords, if said repeatedly, it will log it, and they will start to listen in, if you're threatening to or talking about building a bomb or threatening certain government officials, etc., they will get to a point where they follow you and listen a little. Now,
I say I'm the bomb.
do we all agree
That's
that
old technology.
that
Yeah,
happens?
that's old.
Okay.
That they've been doing from what I not really know firsthand. I mean, I'm not going to admit that I know firsthand or
Right.
not.
Totally got
But
you.
From what I understand is not even talking about building a bomb, but just mentioning the word bomb.
Yeah.
In general, will automatically have some server kick on recording, and then it'll alert them, and then they'll listen and they'll say, okay, well, this is harmless, bullshit banter. It's nothing. Let's just leave it alone.
And
or
then they
might
delete
say,
it.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So in the cigar world, when somebody mails you cigars, you call it a bomb. So yeah, cigar people must be tracked a lot. Kevin, what were you going to say?
Oh yeah.
I was just going to say, and I agree with him actually. Edward von Hegner posted a link about Echelon, the information collecting network. I think actually the ability and the extent to which governments track things like your Skype call, your Facebook activity, your email, etc., is far more widespread than a lot of people, even some conspiracy theorists, would believe.
Really?
Let's face it. We live in an age now of information, don't we? Since the advent of the internet, and in particular the improvement of the internet to fast speeds, where now communication worldwide is almost instantaneous.
See, and this
information
is why
gather.
I want to kind of call bullshit, because Hillary sent how many from a unsecure server before they finally went, hey, wait a minute, stop that.
But they really didn't say stop that.
What you mean
they
is
just kind of turned an eye,
before someone decided to make that public.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're assuming that's also the point at which they became aware of it. But let's face it, us Joe Public on the street, you're never getting the real picture, and if you are, it's an heavily edited version, sometimes long after the fact. In an age of technology, information is the key now, isn't it? You're not talking about Cold War spies snooping around in embassies trying to hack into safes for files. You're talking about cyber criminals. You're talking about online monitoring. You're talking about vast government interagency information networks, data mining. I think it's far more extensive than a lot of us give credit to.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you perfectly. I mean, I can get on my email, on my Yahoo email, and look, and just look at my regular emails, nothing fishy. But then I look off to the right side, and there's all these cigar websites saying, "Hey, we have this package, for you." And I'm like, "Holy shit! I actually do like those cigars. How did they know I like it?" So if simple cigar companies and other data server places are getting this information and tailoring stuff for me, I mean, we gotta assume that the government, who actually is testing new stuff that is like making this outdated stuff look like child's play, it's got to be happening. I mean, it's to the point of, I've read articles. One thing I do every day when I go to work is I read random articles on Yahoo, MSN, CNN, just, not just geared specifically towards like right wing, left wing, but just kind of in general. Because, I mean, if you only watch or listen to left wing stuff, you're going to start to develop those thoughts. If you listen to only right wing, you're going same thing. But if you kind of balance them out equally, you can kind of piece together what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, one of the things that I've read on some of the things is that some of the stuff is just so like just mind-boggling that people are reporting, hackers or cyber criminals are getting into people's networks through their Wi-Fi thermostat for the air conditioners. And I'm like,
really?
Okay, I'm like, okay, so that makes me want to take my Nest off my, because I have one of those Wi-Fi. I'm like, shit, do I want to keep mine up there, or do I want to, so it becomes a point of, well, damn, what's the next thing? I mean, even at that, I was looking at a new refrigerator. We don't need one, but sometimes like,
Are you going to get one with the TV and it does commercials for you and all that shit?
There's one that has a Wi-Fi adapter in it that you connect to your Wi-Fi, and anytime the something is wrong with your refrigerator, it sends a message to the manufacturer, and they contact you and said, hey, your refrigerator let us know that this and this and this. And I'm thinking to myself, if it's that easy for them, oh, Big Brother's got to be all over that.
Or how about the one
They're
thing
like, we'll just leave a back door open for you.
Can you get that thing to message you and tell you when you're running low on beer? Because that would be dead fucking handy.
Actually,
no, you could. They have videos, video stream in there. You could look at what's in your fridge live.
There is a fridge that you hook up with an app, and then anytime you're like at the grocery store going, what do we need? You can pull up an interior picture of your fridge, live feed of your fridge. We sell them
at my work.
Yeah. That would freak a lot of people out because quite often there are defrosting dead rats and rabbits in the bottom of my fridge. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree. You know, that's one thing that I say. And like I said, it's not really paranoia. You know, or not that I have a reason to be paranoid, but you know, it's just like, you know, you gotta keep in mind where we started from in the Big Brother looking at everything from the 50s on to now, and just
which I have I have a link to a timeline about that. By the way, Ian posted many moons ago when there was shrubbery in the house. I don't know what that is. I managed a conspiracy theory Yahoo group called From Under the Pines, with the only enforced rule being that your theories did not cover JFK, Elvis, or aliens. I'd opened the group with a topic on Friday mornings, and we'd post our comments on said topic for view and chat about it for 48 hours until I'd closed the group Sunday night. We struck a nerve apparently when we talked for 2 weeks about 9/11, because the following Friday we had a government seizure notice. Suddenly I saw black cargo vans everywhere. Not cool.
You know, well, like I said, you know, that's just, you got to understand that's happening. I mean, whether we like it or not.
I'd like to add to that, something that happened to me. Could be totally coincidence, but it is one of those things that make you go home. Mm-hmm. About 3 years ago, I was getting quite vocal on social media about the political situation in America. I was being a dick about it. I admit it. Loved it. So I'm outside on my deck one day. Now, I live in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. It's people around me, but you can't even see anybody around you, just to paint a picture. And I literally live on the side of a mountain. So I'm outside on my deck one day smoking a cigarette, and a Department of Homeland Security helicopter flies off to the left side of my house. I'm standing there. I look at it. All of a sudden, when he gets to the back of the house, he dives and flies literally treetop level, very slow, over my house. Like, what the fuck is that? Short while later, the black SUV pulls up in the bottom of my driveway, sits there for a few seconds, then backs into my neighbor's driveway, and heads off down the road. Things that make you go,
What the hell were you saying?
It was mostly firearms and Confederate flag stuff.
Farm?
But you know, I mean,
firearms.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But you know, here's kind of one of the things that kind of make me wonder. Okay, there's a lot of people, and I'm not going to say a specific percentage because I don't know that for a fact. But Radio Shack, right? They're going out of business. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. In the 80s, what did Radio Shack make their money off of? Building your own stuff. They sold the components, you built it yourself.
Right.
Now there's a combination of people being lazy and too dumb to do that, but there are still some hobbyists or enthusiasts that still like to do that, but they don't do that at Radio Shack no more. You have to buy everything. I'm not saying it's Amazon. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Amazon's driving out, you know, all the competitors. No, because there's some people like myself that when I need something, I'm not going to wait to overnight it at Amazon. I want it right then and there. I want to go to Radio Shack like I used to 10 years ago, buy the components, build what I need to build, and there you go. You know, but why all of a sudden is like the main source of being able, I mean, you used to be able to walk into Radio Shack 10 years ago, and I know because I still have some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. You used to be able to walk into Radio Shack and you could buy signal jammers for different things. You know, my security system or my video surveillance system at home are all run wires. I have it run, all the wires ran through conduit, ran through the attic, ran professionally, right? People say, well, you know, spend the extra $200, buy wireless, and you don't have to worry, you don't have to work as hard. But they fail to realize wireless stuff can be jammed and scrambled very quickly. It's a lot harder to do it with wired stuff than it is wireless.
Yeah, at least have to be a lot closer.
you have to be a lock, and I'm sitting on an acre of land smack down the middle, so I can see anybody getting that close to the cameras in 360 degrees.
By the way, if this show has attracted government attention and you're listening in and you're going to go to my house because I'm the ringleader, do me a favor. Bring a signal booster because I have really lousy reception. And I figure if you're going to be there, I might as well get better reception. I'll get you more to listen to anyway, whether it's, my computer or my phone. Either way, help me out, guys.
Now get this. Wouldn't that be something if in the next 3 months you ended up with like LTE signal around your area?
Oh, yeah.
And it's not because they want to do it to be nice. They want to do it because they figured, hey, if we could just keep him confined in one area, it's a lot easier than having to track him around town.
The bottom line,
around the area.
If they look, they're not going to find anything because I'm not doing anything. I'm just hoping that they'll boost it, for whatever reason. I don't care why they do it.
Yeah. As long as you can fit it.
But Travis, surely if they do that, they'll discover your plot to assassinate the president.
Nuh-uh.
He's like,
I'm just trying to make that internet dead cert,
Thanks for boosting that.
I was like, "What you talking about, Kevin?"
By the way,
but
Towie in Twitch mentions anything wireless can easily be hacked to spy on you. Baby monitors, cars, appliances, which I don't know if the microwave can actually spy on you like some people were worried because. By the way, there is a crock pot out there that has a Wi-Fi connection so you could bring up recipes and stuff on your crock pot or your smoker.
Now get this. If they really wanted to, there are smokers, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't mean like people smokers, meat smokers.
Right, that's what I mean.
For the barbecue enthusiasts. They're Wi-Fi that connect to your phone that tell you, oh, well, this is what the internal temperature is. You set it. I'm cooking this cut of meat, or I'm going to smoke this cut of meat. This is how much it weighs. And it keeps track of it, adjusts it for you. Now, obviously, if you were like, hey, I'm, quadruple encrypting everything, but you forget that one little opening, which is your smoker. I mean, that's all they need. I mean, it's not... I mean, sometimes people overlook the simplest things and leave the simplest telltale sign, and that's their
any
demise.
Online network or Wi-Fi setup's only ever as strong as its weakest link. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I said. I mean, just think of it that way. I mean, that's why I try. A lot of stuff I do is still old school stuff. Just for that fact of what, I'm not admitting nor denying any guilt that I have done something in the past, but. In the event, I'd like to know that they really, really did their research on me. And I feel really special to know that they really, really did their research.
I do want to point out I am a government agent. I'm a notary for Virginia. And when I went to work for Uber and Lyft, they do a background check. I was cleared in like 24 hours because that shit is so clean in my background.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Ian posted How to Create Dead Air on Talk of the Tavern by Kevin Cruz.
That's my specialty.
Well, see, he don't have to worry about it. He's all the way across the pond, so it's like,
Actually,
Kevin,
we got 2 minutes before we go into a song. What is the British government doing? Or actually, with only 2 minutes, maybe we should talk about it when we come back after This Week in History. Because I'm really curious where the European level is. Are they right with us or not?
You'd be surprised.
I think they're advanced. I mean, they have to be advanced. Because keep in mind, I read tons of... I have friends that say I'm filled with useless information. If they ever go on a game show, I'd be the one they call. But a couple of years ago, at one point, we had the 19th fastest internet in the world. That means there's 18 other countries in the world that have faster internet than us.
Damn.
So they're doing a lot better shit than we are. I mean, just across, their porn is faster.
Oh.
Their porn is faster. I mean, no buffering.
How's the porn, though?
You don't get stuck with that
it's
buffering
fast.
face,
That happens at my age.
That's the other thing. My phone came online today, and when I came in here, I've never had an app, and I hook up to the Wi-Fi here with my phone just because sometimes it's better than the 4G that I have. And I got a notification. There are 17 Wi-Fi spots in your area. Would you like to see them? And even if I can't connect, even if they're secure, it just told me about 17 Wi-Fi spots.
There was 16 until they parked that van yesterday.
Okay, well, let's go into a song, and we'll come back with This Week in History. And here's some Jimi Hendrix with All Along the Watchtower. Be right back.
Yeah, man.
Sweet dreams, Gene.
Hi, Gene. I don't know if she's. Are you on Twitch also, Gene? Are you hearing us there? The press. By the way, Jamin in Twitch says the president of the Cigar Club. He was quicker than I was on that one, wasn't he?
Yes.
Bye, Gene. So yeah, we've got. What do we got? About 4 minutes if anybody needs to take a moment. By the way, our promo is William Kircher today from The Hobbit. I have a recorded thing with him saying you're listening to Talk of the Tavern.
Awesome.
I like him.
He was a sweetheart.
Yeah, he was.
He was fun too.
Yeah, he was.
And he sang to Andrea.
Yeah, he did.
He could have got laid that night. By either one of us, really, because he was a sweetheart.
I'd say could have, or yeah, he did. No, it's like
No, not with where we were sleeping. No. It's
that's always a
But
that's always a misconception is sleeping. There was no sleeping involved.
Do you know who he is?
Who? No.
Okay. Have you seen The Hobbit?
Okay.
No.
You all you three can feel free to call me any book or any name you want in the book. I have not seen any of the Hobbits, any of the Star Treks, any of Star Wars.
Okay.
I know enough about him through pop culture.
Well, he played one of the dwarves. That's all. You don't know who it is, but they sing in the movie, and I asked him, I'm like, did you really sing that? And he started singing to me.
Nice. Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. Because normally when I tell people that, they're like, "Oh, you've not experienced life," and I'm like,
Whatever.
It's not that I don't want to watch it. I don't like it. It's just, you know what? I've seen maybe an hour total of like bits and clips on TV here and there, and like I said, with pop culture references, I get the gist of what it's about.
If you ever see it where they sing, that's all.
How long we got?
Okay.
We got about 2 minutes.
But yeah, my 8-year-old is real big into Star Wars, and he's like, "Oh, Dad, this character," and I'm like, I know the old characters, I don't know the new ones, so you got to kind of, who the hell is Kylo Ren? And he's like, "Oh, Dad, Kylo Ren." I'm like, "Okay, yeah."
See, I do that with anime. Anything anime, I'm just like, just tell me who they. Don't say a name and expect me to know any of this.
And they're the one with the boobs.
Yeah, if it's not, the one with the tentacles and the sex, yeah.
And the tentacle porn, that's about all I know.
I'm like, if it's not Vampire Hunter D or Akira, I don't know who you're talking about. And there's so much of it now. By the way, Jean sent me a message that says she let Ed know why she left. You can tell us later. Don't tell us on air.
Is it because of me?
Could be. Bitch.
Might be because there's a brown guy here.
There's a couple of them. We have multiple. We got brown guys to spare tonight.
Right. What can brown do for you?
What can it do?
I'm going to have to get more tobacco. My pouch is almost empty. I've actually fallen to... I had tins of tobacco for years that I haven't opened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll be sending Linda a bunch of stuff in baby food jars that I know I don't enjoy those. And I think there might be a tin or two, and there's a pouch of cherry and other stuff. But, okay, hold on. Let me check my things here.
Who are you sending it to?
Marco's wife. And I also...
BTM.
BTM. Sorry.
Yeah. They nicknamed her BTM in Ruffians, which is better than Marco.
Gotcha.
Oh, so it's your wife?
And we're coming back, guys.
Like lotion? I'll put lotion in there.
Oh, there is
She
lotion in
likes
there.
everything. She likes girly stuff. She likes the real flavor, aromatic type of.
Just so you know,
and I don't mind the aromatic stuff. I've never really smoked them.
We're back, guys.
Oh, okay.
We could keep talking about this before it goes into This Week in History. But yeah, I included a joke book for his older son, a kid's book for the younger son, and then remember you gave me 2 things of lotion?
No.
Well, that's
Yes,
for her.
whatever.
What happened this week in history?
Oh, okay. This week in history, shit happened, y'all.
Yeah.
July 3rd, 1985, Back to the Future is released starring the 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. Between 1975 and 1982, only 9,000 DeLoreans were produced. Of that number, only 6,500 are still in existence.
Oh, they have that many? I thought there was only like 20 left.
Yeah.
But you can still buy the unfinished ones from a warehouse that bought out all of AMC stuff and build your own 1980 whatever DeLorean, and it's still original. So there's still about a billion left. They just
and you can go to O'Reilly's.com and get the flux capacitor put in it. Yes, you go to O'Reilly's.com, the auto parts store, right now. You can order a flux capacitor.
Yeah.
And put it in any car, really. It doesn't have to be in a DeLorean. What else happened, Ed?
July 5th, 1946. The beach becomes more beautiful.
Aw.
French designer Louis Rayard introduces the bikini.
Oh.
Until that time, two-piece swimsuits were basically a halter top worn with shorts that revealed very little of the midriff. Rayard's creation was made from just 30 inches of material. The bikini was resisted in the U.S. until 1960 with the release of the song, Andrea, Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
I have one of those.
She did, and she wore it for the first time the other day. I mentioned it on air. I was very happy with it. She looked very good in it.
But I'm sure somebody's gonna, she probably looked better out of it. It's usually how it works.
Either way,
I'm sure.
I appreciate her in clothes or out of clothes. Oh, looks like one of the radio stations kicked off. I think it's White Party. And yeah.
And so it begins.
Things often kick off on the Isle of Wight.
Interesting. Don't worry, guys. We're in This Week in History. You can let it float for the next 15, 20 minutes and take it off. Wow. That's actually the one out of the Isle of Wight where Kevin lives in the UK. That's that station. They probably heard that we're going to talk about British surveillance, and they went, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, there's probably Lee listening in. He's like, fuck that shit. I'm not having us propping up on the radar in the UK. I'll just pull these guys for the next hour. Play it safe.
Okay, Ed, what else?
July 6, 1994. Life is like a box of chocolates. Forrest Gump opens in the U.S. and makes having a low IQ very popular. So much so that today, even very intelligent people say something stupid all the fucking time.
It's a great movie, though.
If I'm not mistaken, let me really, really quick get on Google on my iPhone. It's one of these things that I thought was total like nonsense until I actually looked it up. The Mandela effect, and it said that.
Correct. Yeah, we've been misquoting it.
They never. Forrest never said life is like a box of chocolates. He said life.
Who gives a fuck?
Like a box
That's
of
what everybody remembers.
Sadly enough, I always remember, the principal walking out of the house all sweaty after he banged his mom. And he's like,
I actually quoted that to Andrea's son the other a week or two ago.
That long, huh?
Well, that's how long since he's been around when I Go on, Ed.
Anybody got current events or weird news? I had nothing. Andrew, did you have something about Cosby or something like that?
Oh,
I don't have anything about Cosby.
well, this is something that happened this week.
well,
So-
yeah, you wouldn't remember anyways. I mean, that's the whole
Right.
trick about Cosby.
Well, with women.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or effeminate man.
What didn't he have a mistrial? Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're looking at
Yeah.
doing it again, and they're looking for like a jury that could be unbiased.
Like, so not women?
Didn't I read somewhere that he's conducting a series of seminars in the US where he's supposedly teaching other guys how to avoid being prosecuted for sexual harassment?
Oh, like Hitch.
I'm mentally picturing that movie, but cast with Bill Cosby.
Yeah, exactly. Like substitute Cosby.
Well, I don't
That'd
know.
be an
but
amazing modern remake. That'd be one remake of a film I'd go and see.
chocolate pudding pops have become so much funnier since his trial hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, giving somebody a
Oh,
pudding
yeah.
pop has become a totally different thing. Okay, so we have no weird news. We got birthdays, though,
I
right?
do. I was
wait,
waiting.
go ahead.
It's
Oh,
in there.
What? It's in there?
Well, it's not really weird. It's just 8 terrifying facts about the NSA surveillance.
Oh, okay. What are they?
Number 1, 3 billion phone calls made in the U.S. are snatched up by the agency every day.
Wow, 3 billion.
With a B?
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I can't see.
They changed it while she was looking. What is it now?
Right? Like,
Yeah.
7 phone calls a day are taken.
3 billion phone calls made in the U.S. each day are snatched up by the agency.
Okay.
Yeah. Each day, telecom giants turn over metadata on every call they've processed. Most people knew that. Out of the country, call and email from or to a U.S. citizen is grabbed by NSA. So all those sext things you send to Kevin.
dick pics.
The agency's searches for and seizes nearly everything we do on the internet. Well, a lot of porn, I guess.
Yeah.
Snowden says that his days as an analyst, he could sit at a computer and tap into any American's internet activity, even the president's. That's 5. Number 6, ask a Senate hearing whether his agency collects data on millions or even hundreds of millions of Americans. Oh, ask that. NSA
by the way,
Director
I want to point out
said no.
that on Facebook, don't forget there's a button when you're posting now where you could tag your representative.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed. I totally thought about tagging my representative for this show.
Maybe
A lot of people tag their representatives daily, though. They don't show their true self; they show their representative.
I put this link up on the page so everybody can look at it too.
What else we got in that link?
Number 7, the sheer volume of information sucked up by the agency is so large that as of 2008, it maintained 150 data processing sites around the world.
Wow.
Is that a lot?
Well, probably with the amount of stuff they bring in, yeah.
Yeah.
The NSA's budget is an official secret, but a Snowden document shows it gets about $11 billion a year. Wow.
And by the way,
That's a lot. Damn.
I totally forgot. The Library of Congress saves every tweeted. I realize that's not necessarily private information, that is public information. There is a chick out here in short shorts with the letters SOB on her little pink short shorts.
Is that what the poll is?
That's what the
Pictures or it
government
didn't
wants.
happen.
That's what the government wants you to look at. The real stuff's going on behind you. It's a distraction, man. It's snatching bait.
Is it Marilyn? Marilyn Monroe? It's just they're right.
Hey, she has ties, or she had ties to the government as well. So you know.
She did. It's okay. Right.
Anyway.
Anything else, Andrea?
No, that's enough.
Ed, what birthdays do you have, man?
Birthdays: July 2nd, 1908. First Black Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. July 3rd, 1971. The Monitor of the Monitors. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Thought that was appropriate with our topic tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
July 4th, 1926. The father of American music, Stephen fucking Foster. During his lifetime, Foster would write over 200 songs to include Old Susanna and Old Kentucky Home.
Huh.
July 5th, 1996. The first cloned mammal, Dolly the sheep, was born. Hey, happy birthday, Dolly. July 6th, 1979. Actor, comedian Kevin Hart. July 70th, 1940.
He's that
Beatles
young?
drummer. Yeah, he's that young.
And he's that short. He's so wee.
Marco, how tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay. Wow, you're tall for a Hispanic, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, you got
I
something
am.
else in the woodpile there, don't you?
I do.
Mm,
I do.
And just to be PC about it, you prefer Hispanic, Latino, or fucking Mexican? What do you like?
You know, the census. I'm white now, so you know. The new census. There's no Hispanics or Latinos. We're white. So, but my
Really?
credit score doesn't reflect my Caucasianness. So I mean, yeah.
You get knocked down a few pegs for being.
Exactly. I'm just a token white boy now.
I was listening to Fluffy on Pandora. You know who Fluffy
Yeah.
is.
Everybody
And
knows who he
he
is.
talked about his trip to the Middle East, and he's like, yeah, they're like, we have an American comedian. He's like, say it again. I had to go halfway around the fucking world to be called American instead of Latino or Hispanic.
Yeah. Well, it's like me. I've always been baffled at how people are like, oh, Hispanic. I'm like, what? Did we come from Hispania?
I know. I kind of
You
wonder
know?
that too.
Yes.
And Latino, it's like, what are you, Latin? Wouldn't that
Well,
make you
I don't-
Italian?
But I mean, if you want to be technical, and I know this is kind of we're not trying to be too PC, but in an honest note, I am actually half. I can't say Native American because the United States does not recognize Mexican Indian tribes, but I am
Really?
actually half Zapotec Indian, which are direct descendants from the Mayan.
A lot of my Mexican friends are, some Native American, and I would go Native American through South America and Central America and
Yeah,
North
yeah.
America, and it's so, but really we don't recognize that. Well, the American government doesn't like to recognize Native Americans at all if they can avoid it.
Oh yeah.
It's one more.
They're Americans. They're Americans. But yeah, so
So what birthdays?
back to the point of.
What other birthdays do we have?
Oh, birthdays. July 7th, 1940, Beatles drummer Ringo Starr. July 8th, 1839, Ferdinand von Zeppelin, the inventor of the Zeppelin. And I think he
catcher.
also founded a musical group, too.
Really? Was it the Beatles?
Yeah.
By the way, Ringo Starr's best thing ever, Caveman, the movie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, Marco, go watch that shit.
Well,
Shelley Long,
isn't Ringo usually referred to as the forgotten Beatle? Like people are like, oh yeah, I forgot he was a
George
Beatle.
Harrison is.
Oh yeah, that's right, George Harrison.
Everybody knows
He's-
who Ringo
he's
is.
the
I've
extra
never
forgotten.
been a Beatle. I've never been a Beatle fan. I mean, they have good music, but I've never been enough of a fan to say, oh yeah, that's
understand.
this. My dad actually learned how to speak English listening to the Beatles.
Cato's
Yeah.
mother
Cato's
learned by
mom
listening to
learned how
John
to
Denver.
Oh, fuck
Really?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
John Denver.
That's getting into Middle America roots right there, man.
Well,
That's
fuck you, John Denver in the mountain.
And I got personal
Dolly
birthday
Parton
shout outs.
and Kenny Rogers, go to hell.
Not to none of those people. Personal birthday shout outs to John Smith, Jamin Skipper, Tom Powell, and Mark Clausen. And I'd also like to give a shout out to one of my military buds, Chris Hockman, who is listening tonight. Chris is drinking a clear liquid that we're not allowed to talk about because the government may be listening.
is he still enlisted? That's a question because that could be our mole. If
He's not still enlisted.
Okay. Did you know of though? Right? I mean,
He's not still enlisted.
Oh, I don't know if he's
Black Ops and
listening.
stuff. Have any of you guys seen the movie The Recruit?
Nope.
Oh yeah, that's lightweight.
You get what I'm saying? He's something like that might happen. I don't put it past any agency. Anyway, if I could do a personal birthday real quick,
Absolutely.
compadre.
Yes.
Aaron Signs, one of our fellow fat boys and stuff. Today is his actual birthday. So happy birthday to him. Mine was last week, so happy late birthday to me.
We mentioned
Every
that.
lady this.
And
Yep.
Chuck White.
Yeah, and Chuck, his was day after mine.
And I don't know if she's listening, but Sarah
Yeah, hers was yesterday, I think.
yesterday or today. I just know she had.
Well, for my personal friends, Poncho, William Turner, he's got a birthday, as well as I would have mentioned Jamin, as well as Jonathan Grizik, who we don't see a lot of anymore. He was a regular listener for a while, and he brought us rum, so that's good stuff. Charles Mason, steampunk crafter extraordinaire, and also Jake from State Farm, better known as Taylor to some, has a birthday this week.
Yay, Jake from State Farm!
And somebody who I used to work with, Bill Mayala, who won't be listening. She's El Salvadorian, though. So I don't know if that's Mexican.
It's like the old Cheech and Chong movie when they talked about deportation. He's like, you got born in East LA. He's like, you got Mexican and
I love that
OTM.
movie.
He's like, what's that? Other than Mexican. So, it's still everybody, hey, we speak something that's not American, not English, not English, but American English, and
English.
Now,
we're Mexican.
I pointed this out on the show before. You know what United States official language is, right?
Do we have an official language?
We do not. There is
Oh.
no official language of this country.
I was going to say, because the only one the only state, which is New Mexico, which is where I'm at right now, our state constitution was written in English and Spanish, and our official language is pretty much almost Spanish. I mean, but then again, New Mexico is a weird state because you come down in the south part of the state and we're Mexican. You go up north and everybody's like, no, I'm not Mexican. I have Spaniard descent in me. I'm like, no. There was a Spaniard that banged an Indian and there, boom, you're Mexican. Bottom line.
By the way, Saragon's birthday is today. So,
I knew that. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Marco was probably talking. He's so loud.
Yeah, I am.
Porno.
Porno?
Polo.
Oh,
Porno?
He's in a porno, or he will be soon. Something like that.
Yeah, he is.
I dabbled in porn in my younger days.
Go on.
Of course, they were straight to DVD, movies.
No, they weren't in movie theaters. Gotcha. I usually watch my porn in movie theaters.
They weren't professionally done. I was what was I? Executive producer, director, main star.
No, if you filmed yourself jerking off, dude. Come on, stop.
Yeah, come on.
I was trying to build up my platform. I was
And
trying
your
to.
stamina.
Is that what they call it these days?
Oh, that's great.
Okay, let's go into a song and come on back with the topic. What do we got next? How about The Police with Every Breath You Take? We'll be right back.
I'll be watching you.
Okay, and we've got 4 minutes. I'm going to go see if I can turn off the AC. It's freezing in here. Be right back.
Oh, is that you?
How's he freezing? What does the average temperature where y'all get in the summer reach for y'all to be freezing?
70.
In the summer,
Well, the air
Yeah.
conditioning.
85 to 90, easy.
Jesus, that's perfect temperature.
Sure, okay, for you.
We get 110.
Okay.
I'd love to have
I'm not
75.
impressed.
Oh, but you're ex-military though, so I'm sure you've been at least 120 or higher.
And
Yeah.
much, much lower.
See, I always tell people I'd rather be ice cold than red hot, just for the simple fact of if I'm cold, I can put on more clothes to adjust my body core temperature. If I'm hot, I can only get so naked before it becomes indecent and, police are called.
Don't have a problem. They don't like me being naked, they can leave.
No, I'm saying in public.
That's what he says too.
Yeah, there you go. Touche.
When I posted the story about the helicopter and the black van on Facebook 3 years ago, that was like the first question a whole lot of my friends asked. Were you dressed?
Are you naked?
That's great.
For the record, it's a positively sweltering 55 outside at the moment. British summer's amazing. I saw it. It was the other day.
There's a couple of old
So how are the winters?
They're basically like 11 months, 3 weeks, and 6 days.
except when we show
Or
up.
permanently within our collective soul.
Talking Towie on Twitch said it's money. I'm not sure what she was referring to.
Probably the porn.
Maybe. There's no timestamps on these either.
No.
She may clarify that if she's watching the stream. Whenever I think stream, I still think urine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to watch my stream?
That's a
Part of me?
different show.
Yeah. The official
Yes.
language of the U.S. is money. Yes, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes more
Yeah.
sense.
And you know, tying into the government thing, it really, really is, considering our current president.
Oh yeah.
Not that he's good with money. He just has a lot of it.
Every fucking president preceding him.
That's
It's
true.
money.
Yeah, we don't have poor presidents.
No.
Even Jimmy Carter, who, you know, is a saint compared to most of our presidents, he's not poor.
Yeah.
That is good. We got blink 50 seconds. Then we're back, and then we'll talk about the UK.
Yeah.
ROCK. Oh no, that's the USA, not the UK. My bad. I jumped the gun on that one.
He didn't jump the shark. Fonzie jumped the shark.
Yeah, but Fonzie couldn't say no either, you know, or wrong.
He couldn't say sorry either. Sorry, and
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I thought that was John Wayne.
I don't know. Mork from Work was a spin-off. Hold on, we're coming back. It was a spin-off of Happy Days. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, Happy Days had a lot of spin-offs. They had Joni Loves Chachi, who one of them just died. It was Joni that just died a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yes, Jenny just died.
And then Mork, Mork and Mindy was a spin-off, and Laverne and Shirley was a spin-off. Did it have any other spin-offs? Anyhow. Jefferson's? No, sorry, that was Archie Bunker.
Didn't one of the spin-offs have a spin-off as well?
Probably.
I'm probably talking out my ass, which I do a lot, but I want to say Charles in Charge was a spin-off on one of them.
I want to say you're wrong, but you could probably.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you might be
I'm
able
not
to Google
gonna,
that.
yeah, see, I can't say it.
Okay, so Kevin, we're going to put you in the spotlight and tell us how's the
Oh,
UK
joy.
compared to U.S. surveillance or just in general.
Well, I mean, the UK is a bit of a weird place. We're a tiny country. We seem to be ridiculously paranoid about surveillance anyway. An interesting statistic is when we started talking last week after last week's show about things for this week's show. I think I mentioned it to you guys on the Skype call then, that about the number of CCTV cameras that there are in this country. Now,
You do have a lot.
every country uses CCTV these days, but in the UK, the statistic is that there is a surveillance camera for every 11 people.
That's going to be good for internet porn, you know, those live feeds.
But in all fairness, there's only like 1,000 people in the UK anyway.
Yeah, that's true. You know, yeah, we're only talking like 100 cameras or something. I think what's interesting about the UK, especially in the last sort of decade and the last 5 years especially, is that if you'd said 5 or 6 years ago to somebody when you were discussing this topic, where is the most security paranoid, the most strict, the most regulated country in terms of the government observing what its citizens are up to, most people's automatic default response would have been the USA. Whether that's because of the scale of things or the fact that there's been a lot more stories related to that topic in the media around the world. But actually, very quietly, to a certain extent, in this country, while there was a lot of other stuff going on, including sort of prominent stuff related to terror issues, the government in this country passed something called the Investigatory Powers Act. I'm going to save me going into a massive long explanation about it, I'll put a link up in the group for people who want to read about it a little bit more. But essentially what we've done is we've passed a piece of legislation in this country which now makes us ahead of pretty much any other country in the world in terms of the extent to which our government now has a legal right to observe what we are doing in places like our posts on social media, our email, our communications via mobile phone networks.
You're just catching up.
Well, yeah. And we share all of the interesting thing for you guys is that obviously GCHQ in this country and the NSA in your country have a data sharing agreement. So now
Makes
everything
sense.
that's mined through GCHQ in this country is available to the NSA and anybody else who has access to that same set of data. Snowden actually commented on it. When the legislation was passed through, he put out a tweet or an email or something that essentially said what most people have missed in the news this week is that the UK just quietly became, the least democratic democracy in the Western world. There was a huge public inquiry. You could probably go and find all the details about it online, but essentially the findings were that for about 17 or 18 years now, our government have been illegally harvesting vast chunks of data, which they've then passed through various sifting programs in order to do things like detect terrorist plots, etc., etc. But the findings, although they were essentially that we'd done this illegally, then went, well, okay, now we're going to pass this new act, which says, no, actually, that's fine. We say you can do that.
But by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
That's fine.
Jamin posted in the Facebook event page a picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi that says thousands of voices cried out for privacy and were suddenly silenced. And Kevin responded with, government surveillance vans scatter quickly, but they'll be back and in greater numbers. Go on, Kevin.
The geek is strong within me. Yeah, I think that sort of kind of brings me to the end of what I was going to say about that bit. I'll leave the further reading on that particular topic. Like I say, that link that I've just put up will lead you in the right direction to go and read more stuff about it. But what was interesting as well was that when they passed it, and I know it's not an uncommon government tactic, but they made use of a period where there was a lot of other very pressing, socially demanding issues taking place, and then quietly slip that legislation in through the back door.
Oh, after 9/11,
we're
we
British,
saw that all
we're
over
European. We quite like it being slipped in the back door every now and then, but not when it comes to our legislation.
See,
yeah, so in a sense, theoretically, I have more to worry about in terms of my government legally or illegally observing what I'm up to in my day-to-day life than you do.
See, and
But
Ian said,
which
Mhm.
sorry, I was gonna say which government, because like, are you talking about UK, England, or what is the third one? There's UK.
the European
England.
Union.
I'm talking about the UK government, but that, for all intents and purposes, covers England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, but not Ayr, which is the southern part of Ireland.
Okay, because I know there's
what's AR
England, and then
stand for?
there's like one that covers three.
The Scots have their own parliament. But generally speaking, and I don't want to offend any Scots who are listening because there are differences, but essentially Scottish and English law are the same. They just have slight regional variances, but it's essentially the same legal system, but they have two separate court systems, as do the Northern Ireland. But the laws passed for the UK cover all of those legislation.
And Ian said, in the UK, though, what with the trouble, and it's capital T for troubles, it makes sense.
It's talking about Northern Ireland.
It makes sense to be a bit more paranoid about their citizens. Well, it could be Northern Ireland or all the stuff going on in London the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny you should say that. Another interesting point. I'll put the link up again because you can go and watch it yourselves. But the most recent attack, I'm talking about the London Bridge terror attack as it was being referred to. So the guy who drove a van into a crowd and then 3 or 4 guys went into the pub drinking crowd with knives and stuff. That one. Our Prime Minister, Theresa May, gave a speech, if not the day after, then very shortly after, in the aftermath of that attack, where she focused on saying that our response should be to increase the capacity to which the government can not only access what is being discussed on the internet, but regulate it. To actually be able to regulate and control what is and is not allowed to be posted on the internet in the UK in order to safeguard citizens by preventing terrorists from having places online on the internet where they can discuss this stuff.
You think allowing to post it would allow them to track it easier?
Well, yeah, and more to the point, I mean, unless somebody out there who has a closer insight into the intelligence world can explain this to me clearer. I fail to understand how passing a law about what can be published on the internet in this country affects a terrorist network that theoretically is using computers in multiple countries
Well, they
around
can
the
block
world.
the sites that come into the UK, so the UK terrorist cells theoretically can't access that information, thus cutting communication.
Which has just been pointed out, surely that's counterintuitive, because surely that then diminishes our ability to monitor the traffic between those people. If that's the objective of the goal.
But they still can monitor. The government can still monitor those outside communications trying to come in, but block the people from receiving the information, so they are less effective.
So essentially, they're kind of pulling a North Korea, right? I mean, basically, right?
You jest, but and that's obviously a slightly extreme way of illustrating your point. But yes, you're not actually that far off the truth. It is actually quite disturbing, especially when you consider that the government that's now suggesting they regulate what can be published on the internet is the same government that pushed through the Investigatory Powers Act. And you are almost, and I know it's a cliched thing to say, but we're almost heading towards 1984 territory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what Kato over there is giggling about. It's probably something on her phone. By the way, Von Hegner says if you want a good discussion on all the UK bullshit, you should get Carl Benjamin on the show. Now, I don't know that name. Is that somebody any of us knows, or is that just somebody that Von Hegner knows?
Not off the top of my head, but
well, he's what was the name again?
Carl Benjamin.
Carl who?
Benjamin, like Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, so he's the boy of Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin, right?
I don't know.
So bad joke.
Oh yeah,
it could be Mr. and Mr. Benjamin.
Okay, he's an English YouTube commentator, from what I can make out. Also known by his pseudonym Sargon of Akkad.
Is he a conspiracy guy, or is he...
I'm not sure. He identifies himself as a classic liberal and believer in equality. Let me just pop up. I've got a Wikipedia link here for people who want to go and check this out, which will also include me in a bit.
By the way, while he's looking that up, anybody out there, I need a Wikipedia page started about Talk of the Tavern. And I feel arrogant if I do it myself, but I need to go ahead and start one or have one started. Same for one.
Are we free, like all other Wikipedia pages, to go and make humorous amendments to it as well?
Well, absolutely, because that's Wikipedia. This is why I love Wikipedia, not for like good information, but definitely information of some sort. This is why when in the notes in the document we have, I have like reliable, air quote around that one, where it comes from real newspapers, etc. And then the Wikipedia link for government surveillance is under the unreliable. Yeah, there might be tinfoil stuff in that one. Here's a good link: how the government can spy on you and what you can do about it. And this is on the nextweb.com website. Who's spying us? UK's Government Communication Headquarters, GCHQ, Communication Security Establishment Canada, Australian Signals Directorate, and New Zealand's Government Communication Security Bureau. I'm guessing this is not a US thing. But it does mention the NSA also.
I was looking up Carl Benjamin.
What'd you find?
He's a YouTube talker who identifies himself as a classical liberal and believer in equality.
I think Kevin got that same link.
It doesn't really... Oh. Yeah, see, I don't pay attention.
So, how can you protect ourselves from people spying on you? And it says, before we proceed, it's important to hammer home this point. There is no protection or system that is completely 100% guaranteed safe from hackers. Given enough time and money, an experienced hacker can hack into any system. Okay, so do they have a bullet point here? I got to actually read the whole article? Come on, guys. This is not very 2017 of you. So, if they...
I may have been hacked because my computer keeps freezing up and not working. The internet.
You're either being hacked or somebody in the house is like streaming Netflix. One of the two. Could be either one. So let's see here.
Somebody's watching some midget porn or something over there. That's why it's taking all the bandwidth out.
They're not midgets. They're little people.
They're little
Get
midgets.
it right.
Whatever.
They're little
Whatever
midgets.
makes you feel better.
No, the only one in this house that watches midget porn is me. And Leopard right now.
Okay, so it's going on to, encryption, have a VPN, a virtual private network, etc. How do the pros protect their information? NSA can't read the information on your computer if you've never been connected to the internet. You know what?
I was going to say if you're not connected to the internet, like if you're kind of off the grid, then that would be. I mean, but there's still ways. I mean, they could still park a van down the block and amplify with something, voice, amplification for what's coming inside your
Right.
Thomas.
I was about to say, what are you going to sit privately in your own home and just talk there? But even then, they can throw in,
Yeah.
The old-fashioned, just the microphone with that little radar dish around it.
Yeah, with the boom.
Hell, at my place, they could probably knock on the door like Jehovah's Witnesses. I'd be like, come in, let's talk about this shit. Maybe I'll learn something.
He would.
Yeah. Last
I just
Joe.
put that picture up that we were talking about last week, the one with Zuckerberg with his webcam and mic taped over at his work desk.
Yeah, that's great that he's... Mark,
Yeah, I
if
like
you're
that.
listening, go ahead and I'll put you on the show. Drop me your Skype contact, and I'll bring you on. You can
Yeah,
tell
come
us-
hang out.
Yeah.
Would he do Skype though? Does he own
Just like I
Skype?
did.
That's Microsoft.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I don't think he would do it
yeah.
because of Skype. He'd say, "Hey, let's do it via Messenger, video message."
He'd create a video streaming app just to do it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Exactly.
And I'd be like, that's great. Here's my needs. Go design that shit, and next week I'll put you on, okay? Because
Exactly.
I'm using like 7 programs to do what I want to do. I'd love to have one program that does it all. See, I remember trying to create like VPNs for my home, and now this was 15 years ago or more. It was such a pain in the ass to encrypt an email, let alone do anything else.
Yeah.
And at this point in time, and I know the conspiracy folks, even the like light conspiracy folks, will shake their head in shame at me. I'm like, here's my philosophy on the government conspiracy. If they want something, they will simply leak information to the news and arrest me, even if it's not true. Because the bottom line is, even if I'm not doing something, they will make something up to take me in. So what I am doing is so harmless. If it was harmful, they could honestly show up on my door and go, hey, Travis, you're doing this, and that could fuck shit up, and here's why. And I could be like, oh, okay. Can you still boost my Wi-Fi and cell reception for me? Oh, that'd be kind of cool, guys.
Can you help me out? Help me help you.
That's right. I am a notary. What do you got, Andrea?
I've had this book for a long time. It's Conspiracies and Secret Societies. Nothing about government surveillance. I looked to see if there's something I can talk about today. Nothing.
Bummer.
Nothing.
When you said people that are light conspiracy theorists,
Mhm.
I think every person, period, in some form, is a conspiracy theorist. Now they don't have to be extreme, if you want to call it, where they're the whole Area 51, black sites here or there. But even by simple other things, still technically would be a conspiracy. I mean, or a conspiracy theorist in a small aspect. I mean, you don't have to. People think of conspiracy theorists as people, that are, the Pelican Brief type stuff, that are out there, but really, I mean, it's even on a macro scale, or where it's just tiny, but you'd still be a conspiracy theorist.
See, Talking Tally on Twitch says, and I don't know if it's AI or Al, and that's in quotes, have a show for a while. The Diner Guy? I don't know who this is. But going back to your comment there, Marco, see, I'm a conspiracy guy in that I believe shit happens that we don't realize, or that's, above and beyond what's in our daily lives. But I'm not the crazy conspiracy guy that just goes... Because I know human beings. Human beings are lazy little fuckers. And the big conspiracies, I'm like, I don't believe in a 300-year conspiracy. Because when you hand it to the next generation, they're like, this is stupid. The old people do this, not us. We're going to do this instead. So I don't have a lot of faith in extended conspiracy theories or elaborate conspiracies. To me, people, they keep it simple because it's too much work to make it complicated.
Yeah, but either way, still a conspiracy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Al's Diner. She was talking about the Happy Days thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Al's Diner was a spinoff from Happy Days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
short-lived. I think half season, maybe one whole season. Yep. Al. Who took over for that other guy, or did the Asian guy take over for Al? Anyhow, doesn't matter.
Have the show.
Quick tangent there. Hold on. Oh, NSA spies. Okay. Jamin has posted some great pictures this past week.
Yeah, some awesome memes up here this week from him.
We go to Von Hagner for vague information, and he posts regularly and interacts regularly, and then we go to Jamin for just stupid shit. And they both fill those roles so well, and I appreciate them both for that.
It's a talent, gentlemen.
It really is. It really is. And I don't know, like, Kevin, I know you have folders of memes saved on your computer. I don't know if Jamin looks them up as he goes, or if he has them saved on his computer.
I'm one of those people who spends enough time communicating with people on the internet that I'm sad enough to have arranged my meme folder into subfolders.
He just posted one meme, says, I'm pretty pissed that the NSA is monitoring 75% of our internet traffic, which I think that percentage is low, and still hasn't responded to my invitation to Candy Crush.
That's some straight out dissing right there.
We know you're there. Just respond. You're playing anyway while you're waiting for something interesting. But really, who plays Candy Crush anymore? Anybody?
I still get messages or requests from people that play Candy Crush.
Yeah, but they're like 75-year-old women.
I don't even know why I'm still friends with them, but
We won't judge much.
I guess I'm just too lazy to hit the unfriend button.
Jamin says, I think I have memes for all occasions on my phone. Yeah, just finding them amongst, hundreds or thousands of pictures. This is why we put them in folders and subcategorize. What, Andrea?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just say I play Sims. Because I'm God.
Good times. Oh, my phone just lit up. What it lit up? Oh, it's from Andrea.
You're welcome.
Oh, goodness. Why is he naked?
Oh, you sent him a picture of me?
That would take several pictures because, you're so big.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Can you put on there, my name is Jeff? So you've seen 22 Jump Street, Marco, but you haven't seen Star Wars or Star Trek.
I just...
Whatever.
I don't know, sometimes I just like stupid movies just because it's...
I like stupid movies.
It takes the mind off of what's really going on. The big picture.
Somebody
Get Hard?
I Get Lost?
Get Hard. Get Hard.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
No,
and
I'm not.
I also saw the Will Ferrell one of Get Hard.
Hannah just posted, I'm playing Candy Crush right now as I listen. and Janine backed up Von Hagner's knowledge. So let's see here. About to go into a song here in another minute, and then we'll come back to wrap up the topic. Anybody got any other thoughts here real quick before we go into this song?
I'm just waiting for the third hour.
What? You got stuff for the third hour? I've got a list.
The big reveal.
Yeah.
What? Oh. What's he revealing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
For people who missed this, and for those of you who are watching on Twitch, you'll get to enjoy this. I promised that in the third hour I would show Andrea something over Skype that will make her squeal with excitement.
I don't want to spoil anything, but you're not going to eat paprika Pringles in front of her, are you?
No.
Oh, good, because that'd be a dick move. Wow. Anybody overseas or anywhere
Whereas,
that can
whereas
get paprika-
convincing your girlfriend that she's really an android is a Philip K. Dick move.
True story.
Sorry, I love that joke. Any excuse to wedge that in somewhere.
That's what she said. Okay, we'll be right back.
Yeah, she did.
Here's a classic NSA song. Here's Frank Sinatra with "Someone to Watch Over Me." We'll be right back. I theme the music for each show, Marco, as best I can.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it keeps me amused. That's all I'm worried
Oh,
about.
Travis.
Okay.
Oh, next week. You know
Oh.
what next week is?
2.5. What?
Coffee time.
Booty call protocol.
Now, is Kato going to be able to join us for that?
She is.
Nice. So we're all going to learn. We're all going to learn the proper way to make a booty call.
Oh, and on the event page, I posted the booty call protocol agreement.
I saw that. I didn't read it, but I saw it.
I think it's funny.
So here's Marco. This is for you. Our next show is Booty Call Protocol, as you just heard.
Mhm.
After that, let's see here. Where's the 17th?
Naturalism and nudism.
Yeah, sometimes the titles are too long.
By the
Or
way,
insensitive
did you
bastards.
get the pictures?
I did, but none of them are you.
Oh, well, you didn't say that.
I did. I said I need reference pictures, Ed. I'm just trying to get naked pictures of you.
By the way, that's on the 24th. The week after Booty Call Protocol is Insensitive Bastards,
Insensitive bastards. Okay.
where we're going to crush a few special snowflakes with our opinions. After that, naturalism and nudism, then juggling, fire eating, and other dangerous self-destructive hobbies and careers.
Take your Monday nights off.
And I think that's all we have planned out for the moment. The rest we have to sit down and discuss and come up with.
Availability.
I did mine.
So this is kind of stupid stuff we do and enjoy.
There, how's that?
Just kind of an FYI.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll be able to make the third hour, just
Okay.
because since I'm 2 hours behind you guys.
Your dinner
I
time.
still gotta. Well, not really that, but I'm actually. I'm actually the cook, for all our family functions and stuff. So I gotta start, getting the old meat ready for tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. You got a holiday tomorrow.
Yeah. The holiday we're celebrating is fuck your tax on tea day.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck your tax on tea day.
Yeah.
Fuck your tax on tea. Fuck your tea. That's what Ed does. He
Okay,
has a
we're
tea.
coming back in 15
Yeah,
seconds,
he
guys.
does. What do you call it?
Yeah. The old Boston Tea Party.
Okay, and we're coming back.
Another bad joke.
Okay.
I'm like another bad joke.
No. You think the Brit would have got it?
That's exactly what I meant it for.
See, it would be easier written because you can see where the commas go. So,
Yeah.
So Marco just said tomorrow he's celebrating fuck your tax on tea day.
Goddamn ungrateful colonists.
I'm Mexican. Forget all the white guys. They don't. Hey, I'm with you, man.
Oh,
I'm with you. Take them all back.
We don't want them anymore.
Can you recall these things? Was there a warranty on this?
I think that sounds right.
So, I don't know where we're going now.
Straight to hell in a handbasket.
We had all these links and we used 2. That's great. Anybody have any closing thoughts on this topic? Andrea?
The lotion in the basket.
Or else it gets the hose again.
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go check
Oh,
the basket when I get home. If there's no lotion, you're getting the hose.
I think my closing thought on this would be by the way, the name and all the information I provide is totally false. That way, if anybody comes looking for me, I have no recollection of this at all. And I will be inducing the Fifth Amendment the second I can.
Okay, hold on.
I'd just like to say that I think the current British government are doing an outstanding job. I have every respect for them, and that I look forward to many more cooperative years of enjoying their rule.
See, somebody in the chat program that we use for the cigar group is like, how do I find it on Twitch? And I just want to like say it on air, but I can't because he's not listening. It's twitch.com/talk of the tavern, and now I've got to type this shit in. There we go. Do. Boink. You think he could have gone to Twitch and just searched for Talk of the Tavern? Who is that, by the way? That's another thing. With all these nicknames, it's killing me. Because when we meet in person... any nicknames. When we all have our like little nicknames, I'm like, when we meet in person, do we go by nicknames or real names? And I have to make everybody's pictures big because I won't recognize them in person if they all like, unless they stand really far away and blur themselves. Stupid profile pictures. It's so anyhow.
Jada's got her toes on me.
Ed, did you have any closing thoughts on this? What's your feelings on being monitored by our government? Wow, they just kicked Ed off of Skype. Wow. Ed, I was just asking your closing thoughts on this of being monitored by our government, and your picture and connection went out.
No, my network here has been wanky for about 10 minutes now. Probably got something to do with the picture I just sent Andrea, but I don't know.
It does.
Is that big?
Big file.
I am
Real
really
big
curious
file.
what this picture is. Because I know what it relates to. It relates to a future show on the 24th, Naturalism and Nudism. So did he send you a naked picture of him?
Yeah.
She asked?
Yeah, I know she
Yeah,
did.
he did. Yeah.
It's like tentacle porn, but darker.
Tentacle.
I'm looking through people's memes now. So Kevin, what are your closing thoughts on the topic, sir?
Just that I think people need to kind of keep it in the back of their minds, especially when they use an awful lot of modern media these days, that if you're sending something that you really don't want somebody to know about, bear in mind that the moment you send it, they probably do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Once it's out there, it's out there.
That's it. Yeah.
There ain't no, my bad. Let me get a mulligan. No, it's out there.
Yeah, even if it's up there just for a second, somebody's grabbed it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, I get
all
that
there
all
is
the
to
time.
that. Mm-hmm. So, hold on. I did just, my latest book, The Tridington Birthright, it went up in paperback last week, and it just went up in ebook format yesterday, I think it was, day before. So, it's available now.
Surely there should be a link in the group for that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Should be a link in the event page.
Let me throw that up here.
Throw it up.
Yeah. And there's no reviews on it, so if you read it, go review it. And if you're part of my newsletter, review it. So anyhow, okay. So there we go. What do we got here? It's some great memes tonight. Oh, real quick, well, we got a few minutes left in the topic before Marco either has to put us on hold or hang up on us, one of the two. So how necessary do you think it is for them to monitor us this much?
I think certain people, and I don't mean it like specifically towards any group or anything. It's in general.
Individuals.
I mean, there's certain individuals, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of background, whatever. Just certain people. Period. They need a lot more than just that, you know. But I think the government should probably do a better job of trying to figure out who, you know, especially when, you know, not to get too serious with the topic, but you know, you see acts of violence that happen, and then you later find out, well, they had knowledge of this person already doing already conspiring this, but yet, you know, if you're gonna go to that extreme to get information, at least do something with the information.
There's a problem with that.
You know,
the way they're collecting the information is unconstitutional, so they can't act upon it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's got to be some loophole somewhere, somehow. I mean, call the GI Joes if you have to. Something. I mean, it's like I always say. Sometimes we have so many freedoms that our freedoms are contradicting each other. Sometimes. I mean, it's just. Personally, to me, I just sit back and kind of watch a shitstorm hit the fan and see where it lands, because what's going to happen. It's just a matter of, well, who knew what, when did they know it, and how could it have been resolved? What did we, it's like a little kid.
But how do they find those people without monitoring everybody?
Well, I mean, even if you have to do that, that's fine. But I mean, I assume that you can narrow it down. You could sit there. I can guarantee you, most of the stuff I post, whatever, 90% of it, they're going to be like, really, this guy's a fucking moron. The other 10%, they might be like, you know what? He might be onto something, but he's so fucking out there as a moron anyways, nobody's going to believe him anyways. So, you got to find a way to filter it somehow. I mean, there's, 9 billion people in the world? You don't have to monitor all 9 billion. You could sit there and kind of vaguely say, you know what, we've seen this guy, he's done nothing. Now if person B who has really been active gets a hold of this guy, then we'll go back to him. But other than that,
but there's always a new person popping up, and there's always a person that's been around for a long time that suddenly goes, you know what, suddenly I'm doing this.
Yeah,
and it's not an easy thing. I hate to be so supportive of our government, but yeah, I think doing nothing would be ignorant.
Yeah, and I agree with you. But like I said, I mean, it's not really if it's going to happen, but which generation is going to be the generation to say, hey, we got microchips in us now? What?
Oh, I think that's only one or two away.
Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, I didn't think of that sooner. I meant to bring that out sooner. There is a microchip now they can put into your arm for your full medical history. Yeah, sure, it's only going to track your medical history.
And it's going to get exploited like everything else. And then when that does happen, like I said, I mean, it's just a matter of, the way technology goes so fast nowadays, it's going to happen within my lifetime. Right. I honestly think, but then my thing is, when do you really cross? I mean, I already think some of the stuff has already crossed the line, but when do you cross the line when people start saying enough is enough? Let's etch a sketch it, start from scratch, get rid of it all, and let's start all over. We tried some stuff, it messed up. Let's go back to the drawing boards. I mean, there's got to be a point where eventually people, in whole, as a general populace, have to say, you know what, this is too much. Like, it's just too much.
And when we respond to that and say that is when it went 3 steps too far.
Yeah, I mean, it's already too late. It's done, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, well, it's like, I mean, and then it becomes who's accountable for it.
Yep. Kevin, any closing thoughts on this?
No, I don't think I've got anything else to add on top of that.
Okay, Marco, go on. Marco, are you staying with us for the 3rd hour, or are you going to totally bolt, or what do you want to do?
I don't think I'm going to be able to stay. Wife and kids are like messaging me. They're like, "Hey, you know what? I'm like, okay, I gotta do my husbandry duties.
I'm so sorry you got to miss the 3rd hour, but I get it, man.
We'll message you on your computer in about 15 minutes.
But I promise you, I won't do like The Sopranos and just go blank mid scene.
Well, here's what we'll do. When we go next on, we'll cut you loose, and we'll thank you right now for coming on. You're great company.
Thank you, guys. I enjoyed it. I'd love to be back.
And what we'll do, normally I kick people out of the Skype conversation. So if in a half hour you're like, shit, I've got a half hour. They've only got a half hour left. You can pop back on if you want. We'll leave that door open.
Cool. Awesome. I might see if my phone has enough charge while I'm outside getting stuff ready. If I have enough charge on my phone and it doesn't overheat, I'll try to pop back in.
What is that? Yeah. How come they haven't come up with a battery that doesn't overheat yet? The hell.
My wife's battery overheated today, and it was just outside in the shade on the table, and it shut itself. And I'm like, you weren't even using it, and it overheated. But You know, whatever.
Anyhow.
It is what it is.
They're tracking us through thermal imaging.
Yeah, probably. They're going straight up predator on us and tracking us that way.
Okay, we're going to head into our third hour now. We're going to start with the song, so you can hang around for the neighborhood with Everybody's Watching Me. Uh-oh. And we'll be back in a couple minutes to talk about random crap. I even have a book here that I want to read from. We'll see. But Kevin's got a reveal to do first, so we'll be back with that.
Yeah, he does.
Marco, thank you, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all guys have
Thanks,
fun. I'll
Marco.
try to get back on in a little bit.
You
If
got it,
not, I'd love to be back on.
we'll talk
Later,
about it.
man.
We'll get you. Bye.
All right, then. Take care. Bye.
Catch you later, man.
Okay, and I'm in the song, so you can hang out for the song or you could bolt. Your call. Oh, he already bolted. Good call.
How long's the song?
We have 4 minutes, almost 4.5.
It's Kato's bedtime. Her phone told her.
Good night, sweetie.
Does that mean she's not?
She's not going to bed, but her phone said it's time.
Oh,
Yeah, Kato's Corner is one of the
Rebel.
first things that I have in the schedule, so.
Your corner. I gotta get some more tea.
Okay.
Oh.
There'll be a tax on that.
Probably.
Okay. So far, so good. We only have one person watching on Twitch. I'm guessing that's Jamin.
oh, that would be me.
Hey, Jen.
That'd
Oh,
be
it's
you?
you.
Oh, you and me then.
Hi, Ed.
And I'm all out of tobacco, so I guess I go to vaping now if I want to stick something in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not going now.
Oh. Okay. Oh, we do need to be a little more active in the third hour this week than we were last week. But I have stuff, so we should be okay. Yeah, matter of fact, I have a couple good topics. Okay. Since we're the only ones on Twitch, we don't have to be entertaining at all. Fuck it. Oh, it's twitch.tv.
So cute.
It's funny, we used to lose most of our listeners in the third hour when we went to midnight, and we still lose most of them, even though it's an hour earlier.
Lightweights.
Something like that, yeah. Oh, Jamin is there. It says 2, but I guess there's 3.
I'm gone now.
Oh, you're gone. Entertainment. Hey, he says entertain me, damn it.
Jamin's with us. Hey, Jamin.
My armpits are sweaty.
Thanks for sharing that, Travis.
I was trying to entertain Jamin. He's an oddball, so it might be entertaining. I don't know. There's new Prime loot on Twitch. Oh, we've got 55 seconds left. Oh, good. I saw a car pulling out and it looked like mine. I'm like, shit, did somebody just steal my car? Fix the AC! Jerk. Hmm. 30 seconds. By the way, if you guys haven't listened, The Neighborhood is a really good band. I enjoy their music. And it's got the British spelling of neighborhood. It's got a U in it. You are in the neighborhood.
Oh, I like the name.
Damn it.
They might be British. I don't know. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back to the third hour. Did we get our roll call picture up for find out who's
Doing it.
He's got it. Ed's on it. I also posted a link for Twitch if anybody wants to go log in. Besides Jamin. Jamin's all alone in there, so it's probably sticky. Oh, so, okay. Kevin, do you want to do your reveal now? Or should we talk about the
Let's do it in a minute after we've had another song and I've got an opportunity to go up and get something without making a big clattery noise.
like
while we're on
change
there.
clothes? You got to get in a special outfit for it?
No, I don't have to change them. Just take most of them off.
Damn, girls, 2 tonight.
What?
What?
Kato's not paying attention.
It's Kato's corner
Penis.
time. Is she going to do this?
It's your corner time.
Yeah, right now?
Well, yeah. She wasn't listening earlier when we said it's like right after this
You don't.
song. I know. She was busy phoning.
All right.
What are we talking about with Kato's corner this week?
So
Here, sit here.
this week we so as some of you know, let me put my underwear back up.
Can I help?
I joined several dating websites, and I've been catfished 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Now, for those not in the know, you want to describe what catfishing is.
So catfishing is using someone else's photos and profile to hit on other people, hopefully of the opposite sex, but not all the time, to get dates. Basically create a relationship that way.
Oh, by the way, catfishing is much bigger than that. A lot of people use it with fake profiles and whatnot to get people to send them things, money, gifts, etc.
So, my first 2, not a big deal. I usually get an I love you the same night, which, for most people that might be a little weird, but for me that's normal.
For you to tell them that you love them?
For them to tell me that they love me. I mean, to know me is to love me. Anyway, so I get a couple of catfishes, and the guys that they, use pictures for, totally fuckable. Really good looking guys. So I was a little disappointed. The third guy, clearly out of my league. He is a German model. And you kind of know as a person where you are on the pyramid, on the dating pyramid. He was like above the pyramid. And he hit me up, unsolicited. So I had my 2 friends with me, Jake and Cardell. And I said, you know what, let's catfish this catfisher. So we started catfishing him. And I got his information, and he passed it along to Jake, and Jake started a conversation with him. So, after a couple hours, I'm like, Jake, you're doing this all wrong. You haven't gotten an I love you or anything. Usually I have an I love you by now. They're usually ready to settle down with me, get married. Like,
Damn,
man,
you're
you're doing
good.
this all wrong. So that's just what we're going to do for next time. But so that happened. But my dating life is like totally increased 200% just by joining these dating websites without the cafe.
You can't really date them if you don't have a real picture up there, can you? I mean, you don't show up and go, look, I'm not a black midget wrestler.
It's not counting the
want a midget
catfishing.
wrestler.
But some of these guys have like ESL, so they have English as a second language, and they use pictures of guys that are like super American, like middle America, corn-fed boys.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't portray yourself as a corn-fed boy if you have like a Croatian accent.
When typing, let alone verbally.
Right. Well, that, and I've had some of them on the phone too. The vernacular is off, the grammatical syntax is wrong. Just there are a whole bunch of things, and they'll use words like babe and baby quite a bit too. It's funny. It's very entertaining. Jake at one point said to this gentleman that when we're talking about each other, he said that he'd lost his husband 3 years ago, and he's been without the touch of a man for that long.
Is he pretending to be Jake, or is he pretending to be a woman?
He's pretending to be me.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the guy's name was Christopher, and so we found the name of the model, and we started calling him by the model's name, Vincent. And the guy didn't catch on.
Well, the guy didn't look at the name of the fake pictures. He just got the pictures.
Right. But he didn't even question the fact that we weren't calling him by his profile name.
Okay. So what'd you get out of this?
A lot of entertainment, like hours and hours and hours. I could see why people do this.
I'm sure the NSA did too.
Yeah. It was very entertaining. But I mean, that aside, my dating has increased 200%.
She actually meets him in person. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually when we do, it's ha. Hey, you want a huh?
Huh?
Shoot.
Oh god.
So I don't know if that's dating then. Maybe not.
I don't think it is. Yeah.
Hey, you do it your way, I do it mine.
You got a totally end result.
Hey, I'll do it our way.
That photo was bomb.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
They appreciate it too.
Yeah, we really did.
Want some coffee? I'll put a little cream in it for you.
I got my own cream.
Ooh, yeah.
So here's something. There's a certain person who came in today who I don't think they expected to see me here. But it's a friend of a friend who doesn't listen to the show. The friend of the friend doesn't. But he came in and he was bragging to Jen, who runs Retro Daddy-O here in Williamsburg, that his new hobby is lifting people and doing aerobics or aerobics.
Acro yoga.
That's it.
What is it?
Acro yoga.
Yoga
Acrobatic.
in the air.
Acrobat.
Yeah, you like lift people up and then they do yoga while you have them in the air.
Yeah, he picks them up and puts them down.
I do
Sounds like
that
someone
too, but
needs to
probably
put
not the
him
same
down.
way he does.
I don't think so.
What, Kevin?
Okay.
It sounds like someone needs to put him down.
Well, it was interesting because the pictures, most of them were very hot chicks on the beach. And he's picking them up above his head, or he has got a chick on each arm and all that. I'm like, so you do this literally to pick up chicks? Because I don't think he's doing it for the fitness side of things. I could be wrong, but I don't know what that hand symbol means.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
You
Well,
did that
Pick them
wrong.
up.
But yeah, you had your
Whatever.
yeah, you've got to bend. It's like that.
Whatever.
Yeah, and the thumb.
I don't do that.
This is Vulcan.
Yeah. Or nano.
Vulcan.
Yeah, with the nano. Yeah, it's very different.
I was watching Twitch. You're welcome.
Then he had one picture of, I believe he was in the air and another dude was lifting him up, and this is more for the Twitch people. The dude laying on his back on the ground on the blanket has his hands like this. It's just like he's like when we're kids and imitating a kangaroo, we're just like, and that's what the guy on the ground was posed like. I'm like, I just love how he has his arms. That's great. It's, so yeah, this is a new thing out there.
That sounds amazing. I'm gonna go and enroll tomorrow.
It's working for him.
I want to find the guy who for $8.50 an hour is going to lift me.
Take pictures.
Well, you start by catfishing to find them.
Pastor Cole.
I'd have to find a picture of some really small, twee guy, you know. If I post real pictures of me, they're all going to be like, no, sorry, I'm fully booked.
And you could like poorly Photoshop your head on top. But keep your head
My
regular
head
size.
looks like my actual head looks like it's poorly photoshopped onto my body, so that wouldn't be that difficult.
No, dude, I really look like that from the neck up.
Well, I had one post a picture. It was an army guy. You know, he's scrunched over and he's holding a paper plate over his head with the eyes and mouth cut out.
Was it shot?
That's not creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not at all.
It's like the
And it
unknown
wasn't
comic
even
from the
him,
Gong
though.
Show.
That's the funny part. It wasn't even him. The tattoo was all wrong.
Oh, you hear they're trying to bring the Gong Show back?
Hmm.
Kevin, do you know what that is?
No.
In the 70s, they had a variety show where people would come on and perform, and they had 3 judges that were generally like B-list or C-list actors. And the person would perform, sing, juggle, whatever. Very American Idol-esque, but less glitzy. And the judges can gong them at any time. They could, like, smash a button to buzz them out, or they can, like, totally, if they're like, fuck you, get off the stage, they get up and hit a big gong.
Right. Awesome.
And
that's far more preferable. I like that you got to detest somebody enough to get up out of your seat and put some effort into smashing a gong. You're not just pressing a button, you know.
yeah.
That's physically saying, you're shit, get off.
Yeah, it's and when somebody's like, they're bringing it back, I'm like, don't they already have it? Don't they call it American Idol now?
Yeah, it's American Idol, X Factor, you name, pick whichever reality TV
America's
clone
Got
that you
Talent
want.
or whatever.
Do you want to know something really funny about the Britain's Got Talent, our version over here?
What about it?
Right, this is supposed Britain's Got Talent. So this is a show that's supposedly designed to find the peak of entertainment talent in the UK. And the first series was won by a dog. God's honest truth. You can go and look it up. First series of Britain's Got Talent won by a performing dog. There was all sorts of amusing newspaper articles afterwards because it turned out the dog wasn't entirely of British descent, so they were claiming he should have been disqualified.
Was it like a German Shepherd?
No, I don't think it was that obvious.
It's like, I'm sorry, no Chihuahuas, no German Shepherds, only English Bulldogs, that's it.
We're talking about a British TV show. We'd never have let a German get to the final. It's bad enough they do that in the football every year. That's soccer, by the way, for you guys. Not what you guys refer to as football, which is actually rugby for pussies because you wear padding.
Ooh, shots fired.
Snap.
It's hold on, I'm just checking on Twitch, seeing if Jamin's entertained. He hasn't said anything else.
Are you done playing the other song? I want my surprise.
We've got another 3 minutes before we go into the next song.
Damn it.
So let's fill it with something. So how has the hunt for... Do you have paprika Pringles there? Because as Andrea pointed out, we actually got them on the plane. You do have them there, okay. Because we got them on the plane, which was
I checked after you asked.
Okay. By the way, we might be showing up next June for a wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't you say about this? Is that Greg's one?
It is. It
awesome.
is. Did you get an invite?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so sorry. Never mind.
Oh, I'm not offended. Hey, man, no.
He's close.
It's an Isle of Wight wedding. He's probably got room for all of about 10 guests in whatever venue he's chosen.
It's he did include in the invitation that if anybody, because he has a lot of performer friends, he's like, if somebody wants to perform, and in no way is it required, let me know so we can set up a schedule and give you a few minutes to do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, shit, I got no talents that work in front of a crowd. I guess I won't need to. It's more of a one-on-one thing. It's apparently this.
Not paying attention.
I know. You should push her back.
I'm dating.
She's busy dating.
I'm dating.
She is.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not a lesbian. I get it all wrong.
It's good that you're not a lesbian. Have you seen her nail?
They're good on
Great
backs. They're not good on.
scratchers.
Yeah, not good on the interior though.
No.
I'll stretch you all up.
You want an abortion?
There's the third hour humor.
There it is.
Okay, we'll go into the song a minute early. Kevin, get ready to run because it's a short song. We're only gonna have about 3 minutes. Ready, set, going off air now.
It is a good color, though. What is it?
That's San Tropez.
I like that. I
Yeah.
didn't do mine.
Can you tell me the way to San Tropez?
Essie's got it for $4.50.
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
That way. There's a sign in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have Sesame Street? I don't remember.
It does. And Narnia and Baker Street.
I know Baker Street is like pointing straight down. It's like, go to hell, Baker Street.
Yeah, it is. It fell.
That was quick and easy.
It's not as big as I thought it would be.
What?
What are you talking about?
Did you get a dick pic?
No. I only date classy guys. They don't do that.
Damn.
You know,
Yeah,
I
they
But
could,
you didn't send it to her.
I could believe the I could believe the second part of that statement. I'm not so sure about the first part.
Yeah, I was joking.
Yeah, those guys were not very classy.
No, they're not
I met
classy.
one.
They're not classy. I smash them before the second date.
My
They're all
vape tastes like
cheap whores.
cookies.
They're all cheap whores.
Who want you to pay for dinner?
I'm not paying for shit.
Hey, can you put some money in my account?
The only dinner you're getting is pussy.
I don't mind eating out.
Fair enough.
And Jamin says I'm still
At least
here.
it's a at least it's a well-rounded meal.
Oh,
Sorry, Damon.
gotta tell you
No,
what
we're not.
song we're on. What is it? Okay, Metropolis Watchers. What was the other one?
What?
I brought 2 vapes, and one I recognize as like that cookie flavor.
Cookie.
Ew.
You gonna sing the song?
Yes, cookie.
Cookie, cookie, pussy, cookie puss.
I have some vape stuff at the house I can give you.
If you want. 30
I haven't
seconds.
really used it.
Yeah, well, I don't use mine very often either. Much prefer the real tobacco. 10 seconds. Oh wait, Jamin says, I've got a 10-inch cock, and when that rooster is full grown, it'll be nearly 2 feet tall.
That's great.
And we're coming back.
So are we talking about men's measurements or women's?
Coffee.
10 inches?
Mm.
Okay, Kevin, take it away.
Oh, okay. Well, this is not going to be quite so exciting for people who aren't watching on the Twitch feed, obviously. So, try and vaguely describe them. Got a large brown envelope here in my hands,
Oh, no wonder she's excited.
which is waiting for your address on it.
Oh, I need this.
That's a
Yeah, you
lot
do.
of club bars.
It's Club Bars, my favorite, the orange ones.
All ready to post.
Oh, I'm so
And I reckon I've just about got enough room in that envelope to squeeze in a tube of paprika Pringles. So.
Squeeze it in.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll squeeze a tube in anywhere.
Oh, Club
Wow.
They're my favorite.
Okay, that was good.
There we go. Dead air again. See,
Yeah,
it's
that
my
was quick.
speciality.
I'm just wondering how you're going to fill it one more with chocolate.
Obviously, I've been taking notes, Ed.
Travis,
So-
what did it say? How much black are you?
85,
Sorry?
85%. Travis is 85% black and what?
15% Venezuelan.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that I haven't done that. I've seen those.
That was supposed to be of me, so how did that happen?
I saw that. Yeah, your one focused on Travis's face.
It didn't even let me
That's-
pick.
That's Facebook racial profiling.
Mm.
Notice the white guy took it again. So, Ed, I think this might be mostly a question for you. We've had this discussion before, but I've been watching a few shows, and this came up, and it bugged the hell out of me every time I see it. So, when somebody has a laser sight, and in the movies, you get a little red dot, or 15 red dots put on somebody. I just want to clarify, when you have a laser sight, is there any laser sight out there that actually puts a red dot on the target?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Most civilian-owned lasers, it is a visible dot. It has to be a visible dot.
By law?
Not really by law, but and you can get infrared lasers, but in order to see that, you're going to have to be wearing an infrared scope or sight or something along those lines.
Well, I know when I was firing your weapon, it had a laser sight, but it didn't put a red dot on something.
That was a red dot sight. It just put it on the glass, which then put it on whatever you were firing at. Yeah.
Okay.
Laser sights are so past now because people realize, hey, I can follow the laser right back to the person that just put it on me and just shoot in that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot shorter conversation than I expected.
Sorry about that.
I've got an interesting infrared fact for you.
I noticed that you posted something from the Washington Post that said that something about Trump, Russian thing was the crime of the century.
Mm-hmm.
So, wasn't the Holocaust in the last 100 years?
Well, this century.
Sure. Yeah.
This century?
We're in a new century.
We're talking about America. We're talking about America.
That wasn't America, honey.
Yeah, and that was the last century too. That was the 1900s. We're in a new century.
Yeah, it was the 20th century. We're in the 21st now.
She was confused.
So, here I've got something. I don't know how well this will work out. I have one of my books here, 201 of the worst dad jokes.
Oh,
You're
Lord.
welcome. And I saw a video where they had like pastors from different churches going up against each other. And they would read these jokes, and the first one to laugh at them lost.
They read your jokes?
No, they were the same kind of jokes though. So I'm going to read these and see which one of you guys laugh first. This could really fail for me.
Hit mute.
So I'll start with this and then I'll give you a chance here. So the first joke. People are making apocalypse jokes like there's no tomorrow. Okay, a little face scrunch for those of you on Twitch can see that, but I cut my finger shredding cheese, but I think that I may have greater problems. Nothing, okay.
I knew one.
You're not making dinner.
Let's see, I know.
Or no one's going to eat it.
You laugh, Travis, you lose.
No, I'm allowed to. I'm reading the jokes. I'm terrified of elevators. I'm going to start taking steps to avoid them. These are dad jokes. Last night, my spouse and I watched 3 DVDs back to back. Luckily, I was the one facing the TV. See, they're all being very quiet. I just watched a documentary about beavers. It was the best damn program I've ever seen. There's a new
Getting better.
There's a new type of broom out. It's sweeping the nation. You can make commentary or groans. I don't mind that.
Was that a tumbleweed that just went past?
It could be. Sometimes I squat on the floor, put my arms around my legs, and lean forward because that's how I roll.
Well, at least that's not how you shit on the floor.
Yeah.
And the walls and the ceiling. I ate some bad chicken last night. Now I'm feel foul.
You know, you should have done that one first and then done that. I grabbed my knees. Put it on the floor.
Here's one for Kevin. A hurricane just hit the main cheese factory in France. All that's left is debris.
Nice. I'll give props to that, but I'm not going to laugh at it.
I'll stop at nothing to avoid using negative numbers.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. I fired my masseuse today. She rubbed me the wrong way. I find pressing F5 is refreshing. What happens when you tell an egg a joke? It cracks up.
Can you tell a naked joke?
An egg, a joke.
Oh. That's
I think I'll buy some Velcro pants.
Do you know what?
Yeah? What?
I was just going to say, do you know what the worst thing is about being an egg?
What?
You only get laid once, you only get smashed once, and the only bird that sits on your face is your mum.
Oh.
Oh.
I could tell Jameis' joke out of the Twitch channel. Got a 10-inch cock, and when that rooster is fully grown, it'll be nearly 2 feet tall. Here's one I like. My daughter just lost her mood ring. I really don't know how she feels about it. No pun fan. I think I'll buy some Velcro pants. I think I could totally pull them off. Did you hear about the magic tractor? Anybody hear about the magic tractor?
No.
It is radio. You have to make some responses sometime. It turned into a field.
I hear cricket.
How do you organize a space party?
I don't know.
You plan it.
Space pat.
What do you call a group of killer whales playing musical instruments? An orchestra. Why was the big cat disqualified from the race? Because it was a cheetah.
Hey, you too can have this book on Amazon. Please buy the book so he stops reading it.
I went to the zoo the other day. There was only one dog in it. It was a shit zoo. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
Go on.
The P is silent.
Oh.
Hey, Andrea, what do you call a cow laying on the ground?
Ground beef.
Very good. What do you call a fly without wings?
Fucked.
A walk.
There you go. Good, Kevin. How do you make a hanky dance? Really? Nobody knows this one? What?
Put a boogie in it.
That's right.
This game is rigged.
Two muffins were sitting in an oven. The first one looks over at the second and says, "It's really hot in here." Second looks over at the first with a surprised look and says, "Whoa, talking muffin."
That's what?
Talk-
Stab it with a fork.
Japanese listeners are committing harikiri right now.
Oh, they probably find this shit hilarious. I'm bigger than Jerry Lewis. Oh, that's
The
French.
French are probably loving it, though.
Ooh la la.
I saw a great meme once that said that due to solar radiation, the American flag that was planted during the moon landing will by now have turned completely white, which is really annoying because now it looks like the French were there first.
Yep.
Well, the NSA is now signed off, so maybe it's really working.
Have you heard of a music group called Cellophane? They mostly rap.
Oh.
What kind of magic do cows...
Some of these are getting
Uh-huh.
some of these are getting physically painful.
Why are you
now.
laughing at that?
Okay. You wrote this as a book.
Yeah, and people buy it.
You are trying to sell it.
Yeah.
Stop reading the jokes, bro. Nobody's ever going to buy it.
Well, you know, they don't buy it now. It's okay. What
Oh.
kind of magic do cows believe in? Voodoo.
Oh.
Oh, I think Kevin just
You
pooed.
broke Kevin.
I think Kevin just pooed.
Hey, Kevin.
And I'm
Go ahead.
I did just poo, and I'm going to smear it on some paper and put it on Amazon, and I bet I'm outselling you in a week.
No. Drowning Kittens isn't doing any better.
No, this is true.
Do you know where you can get
People
chicken
who bought
broth in
this book
bulk?
may also like. Do we know where to get what?
Yes, sir.
Chicken. Do you know where to get chicken broth in bulk?
Yes, sir.
The stock market.
Nah. Ha. I'll give you a ha for that.
What did the ocean say to the shore?
See you later.
No, nothing. It just waved.
Oh,
Ooh.
I think Ed's sleeping.
He is.
He's touching himself.
Let's see here.
It's voluntarily gone into a self-induced coma.
PMS jokes aren't funny, period.
That's right.
Let's see here. I wonder why the baseball was getting bigger. Then it hit me.
Mm-mm.
Giraffe walks into a bar, says, "High balls on me."
Yeah, it is.
Stupid ass jokes.
Comic Sans walks into a bar and the barman says, "I'm not
No,
serving
that
your
was funny.
Deja vu, the feeling you've heard this bullshit before.
Yep, that's about the feeling.
I don't say bullshit.
I kill bullshit.
There's longer ones. I don't know if I should read the longer ones.
No.
There are longer ones.
There's one about Asians.
Go there.
Apparently, 1 in 5 people in the world are Chinese. There are 5 people in this call. So it must be one of them. Actually, it goes on with, there are 5 people in my family. It must be one of them. It's either my mom or dad or maybe my older brother Colin or my younger brother Ho Chan Chu, but I'm pretty sure it's Colin. We've had 2 laughs.
That is funny.
Hey, Andrea, I went to the store to buy some camouflage trousers the other day, but I couldn't find any. What's long, brown, and sticky?
Ed?
It's not sticky.
A stick.
Like, not yet, right?
Comfort Cable walks into a bar. The barman says, "I'll serve you, but don't start anything."
2
What?
bits of grey tarmac are sat in a pub and a piece of red tarmac walks in. One nudges the other one and says, "Don't fuck with him, he's a psychopath."
See, that's strictly UK. We don't have red paths for
There
that.
you go. Bit of British humour for you there.
Oh, let's see here. One of my favorites. A guy walks into a psychiatrist's office wearing only cellophane shorts. The shrink says, "Well, I can clearly see your nuts."
There you go. You got a mild chuckle. I lost. Ed wins.
You just want me to stop. We got 3 more minutes before the next song. I'm going on. I went to the butcher shop the other day. I bet him $50 he couldn't reach a meat on the top shelf. He said, "No bet. The stakes are too high."
How many people are still listening?
I don't know. I think I got rid of them
-1.
all. Jamin says, "These are old, and yes, I've said half of them to torture my son, which is why I wrote the book, because I believe we should pass the torture on."
How else are we supposed to enjoy adulthood if not through the suffering of our children?
That's right. I went to a seafood disco rave last week and pulled a muscle.
Mm-mm.
How many times you pull it?
If you pull it more than once, you're playing with yourself.
Whose muscle was it?
A man told his physician, "Doc, I can't stop singing the green, green grass of home." "That sounds like the Tom Jones syndrome," the doctor said. "Is it common?" the man asked. "It's not unusual."
Hmm.
What kind of music do wind turbines like? They're huge metal fans.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to laugh at that one just out of appreciation for a metal joke. As opposed to metal fans being the joke, which is normally the case.
What do you call a female news anchor who breaks a leg? Oh, what do you do to a female news anchor who breaks a leg?
Shooter?
You put her in a broadcast.
Shooter?
What's the difference between a pickpocket and a peeping Tom?
Peeping Tom is Bigfoot.
Wow. A pickpocket snatches watches.
What?
A peeping Tom snatches watches. What's the difference between a lobster with breast implants and a dirty bus stop?
UTI.
One's a crusty bus station, the other one's a busty crustacean. Here's one for Andrea. Did you hear about the clairvoyant midget on the run from the police?
Can I have one?
The news reported as a small medium at large.
I want one. Hey,
What
Mr.
of a
Mason's like
what
in
of a lobster and what of a lobster and a Chinese guy under a bus got in common?
What?
They're both crustaceans.
See, that's good. That's good. It's how do you find Will Smith in the snow? Look for Fresh Prince.
Go on.
Oh.
That's the first one I think in quite a long time that's almost funny.
Why did the Clydesdale give the pony a glass of water? Because he was a little horse. Okay, let's go into another song now.
Hey!
Here's Hungry Eyes. We'll be back. I thought you guys had a larger appreciation for puns. Apparently not.
Oh, hello.
No, Pinterest.
You said you wanted to see who would laugh first and then you would stop. Oh, we shall laugh.
Chris Hockman put quite a good one up that we should read out when we come back.
Oh, good. What?
As a buzzard walks up to the ticket counter at an airport and is asked, "Check your luggage?" "No, it's carry-on."
Nice. That's great. One you posted about Vikings.
I love that. 4 puns in one. Yeah.
Where did he post that, Kevin?
It's on
Roll
the roll call post.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we'll read that when we get back. Yeah, I should clarify, I didn't make any of those jokes up either. Those are all old, horrible jokes. But there's a few, like one of my favorites is my girlfriend told me to stop impersonating a flamingo. I had to put my foot down. Or
That one's funny.
Yeah, that one's funny. Or I told my girlfriend she drew her eyebrows on too high. She looked surprised. So I'll keep it in mind if...
Yeah, I know loads of really good jokes, absolutely none of which would be in any way appropriate to recite live on it.
Why don't we write that book?
Could do.
Well, why don't-
If you want to write a book that's called Jokes That Are Horrific, that you really couldn't even tell your close friend without them looking at you and going, "Dude, that's too much," then we can totally write that book.
Yeah.
And just call it "Dude, that's too much."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thereby hopefully opening it up to a few accidental sales to the gay community.
I'll have to keep in mind if ever Ed invites me to another camp out not to tell puns around the campfire. Stop hitting me with a flaming fag. What?
What? A flaming fag?
Yeah, if we're camping, stop hitting me with a
I
flaming
didn't
fag.
realise you still burnt that kind of people.
Merca. So, let's see here.
That's the British term.
It
Don't you know this?
A fag to me is a cigarette.
Yeah, well,
Which leads to the highly amusing term when Americans overhear it, "Can I bum a fag off you?"
That's funny.
If I come over there and I say I'm just stepping outside to smoke a fag, someone's going to pat me down for firearms.
They might join you.
British, don't worry, son. I've got a gun.
Yeah, you do.
I've got an extra. Okay, in 30 seconds, guys.
See, I'm not allowed to carry a gun in America, but it doesn't mean I won't be packing.
Your luggage.
Like, fuck am I packing my luggage? Why the hell do you think I got married?
Wow. She packs your bags for you?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, and we're coming back now. Kevin, did you want to read the other joke that was posted there by Chris Hockman?
Oh, absolutely. Let me just hop back to it. I thought that was quite a good one, actually. And thanks for joining in, Chris, as well. Chris posted, a buzzard walks up to the ticket counter at the airport and is asked, check your luggage? No, it's carry-on.
Yeah, it's a good one. See, I've got more
Yeah,
if you
I
want
like
them. I didn't even make it halfway through the book.
Oh,
So anybody else got any other topic to talk about? Quick, say yes.
Yes.
What is it, Andrea?
You just said say yes. I said yes. See? I'm listening. Kato's going through the booty call protocol.
Checking it off. Oh,
we should...
You were on mute. What?
I'm doing research
doing research. Is she talking dirty to her voicemail?
right now.
She's
Yeah.
talking dirty to some catfish.
Every time I talk dirty.
Not dirty enough. You need to ramp that shit up.
All
Hey, somebody
right,
else is on
you
Twitch.
asked for it.
Hi,
You asked for
Twitch.
it.
I don't know.
Hey,
what I'm doing.
Twitch.
What up, Twitch?
What up?
Yeah, I need to. Yeah,
You want me to-
so I don't know. Anyhow,
Okay.
okay, so we got about 10 minutes left before we go into our final song.
Oh.
Besides bad jokes, anybody else got anything they want to talk about?
We could talk about what's coming up next week.
We could, which we started to. Booty Call Protocol.
Booty call protocol.
Yes. Somebody needs to come with some ideas because I need some help here.
And there's a booty call protocol agreement that you can go through. I posted it. Go check it out.
In next week's thing. Is there a cover photo up for that yet?
There is. I put it up.
Let's see, I'll go post next week's event
Yeah, we should link up everybody who's listening tonight
so they can
with
just
next
join.
week's event.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some good conversation going ahead of next week's show in there.
There we go. Then I gotta go look at the picture. I always love the pictures Andrea does for these. Oh wait, there's
There's a couple pictures I can't put up there. They're for personal use only.
Buffalo once roam the plains in large numbers. That's great.
Do you see the booty call protocol?
Oh yeah. Hold on a second. I'm doink. Okay, now I gotta look at the picture. Oh shit! I need my reading glasses for that. I gotta take them out of the book so I lose my place on the joke book.
Oh.
Oh no!
Darn.
Yeah.
No, I put something else. It's okay, guys.
Fuck.
Hey, just
Uh-huh.
wondering, do
May
you have
or
some
may
place I
not
could put my
have-
boner?
Yeah. In the
Daughter.
I have a place. Cock pocket.
Oh wow!
Cock pocket.
Just got a booty call from life. Apparently, it wants to keep fucking me. Yeah, how about that?
You like that one? I'm like, that was appropriate.
Say
I
what?
did.
Is that underwear?
Yeah, it's
And the booty call on the phone from Talk of the Tavern.
yeah, I like that. That's nice placement there. That's good placement. Yeah, we'll have to get you the new measurements so you quit making them too big.
It's
you
what
too.
was on the.
Sorry.
I always make them too big. No, that's what was on the Canva program
So how much is it?
for the banners.
Jamin posted Punderdome, a card game for pun lovers. I actually considered buying that at one point in time.
Oh, that would be cool. I like puns. I do.
I know
I
you
love
did.
puns.
I know.
The worse, the better.
Right.
As
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
good puns should be.
Well, I've got another one right here.
Well, you know who else is good with puns? Who likes puns? Flick, who will be
That's
on the
true.
show.
That's true. So
What?
I could save the other half of the book. Just start at the back and work forward. See,
Are you guys? I don't know if he's over in America as well. You guys familiar with a comedian called Milton Jones?
no.
No.
Let me go and find you a link. Definitely a guy. If you love pun-based humour, the guy's like an absolute machine for snappy one-line puns, and great at making them up on the fly as well.
Okay,
He appears quite often on Mock the Week in this country.
just two more. Here's one for Ed. How do you tell the difference between a frog and a horny toad?
No more
The frog
jokes.
says ribbit, ribbit. Horny toad says rub it, rub it.
They're dirty.
Had a dream that I was a muffler last night. I woke up exhausted. No, nothing.
Oh.
No.
Oh, leave Marky.
I don't know. I enjoyed them. And my apologies to everybody who's listening to the show. Fine.
There's no one listening to the show.
You're still here. That's all that matters, Ed.
Okay.
As long
I've
as
got a joke about a frog and a chicken.
go on.
Okay. So a chicken goes into a library one morning.
Oh, I know this one. I
Hops
love
up on
this
the
one.
counter. Yeah, stares at the assistant and goes, book, 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 book. So the confused guy hands over a book and the chicken just takes it and leaves. Comes back the next morning, drops the book on the counter and goes, book, 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 book. Gives him another book, off he goes. And this same thing happens for a few days. Eventually he gets confused about what's happening, so he follows the chicken one morning. And it goes down to the local pond and there's a huge frog sat on the lily pad. And the chicken drops the book at the edge of the pond and goes, book, 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 book. And the frog leans over and looks at it and goes, read it.
It's a great joke. I love that one.
Thanks.
I like that one. It's funny.
I tell it a little differently. I used to have a few friends. I didn't even have to. I told the joke one time, and then they would just want me to do the chicken impersonation all the time. Because my
Do it.
my chicken impersonation. It's
Yeah, do it.
oh my god, the pressure, and I don't want to feel like I'm trying to one up Kevin's chicken.
No, exactly.
You can one up his cock. What? Chicken? What?
Pretty much anyone can one up my cock.
Looking at you, Ed. I'm staring at Ed.
Suddenly I'm hungry.
For cock?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's see here. I got
Who does any more impressions?
everybody. Ed, do you do an impression?
No impressions.
Uh,
Never met anyone that was very impressionable.
Oh. Okay.
NASA politely clarifies it's not running a child slave colony on Mars.
Why not?
Well, that was
Cool.
kind of them.
That's
It's
nice.
not Mars, it's Jupiter.
When you say they politely clarified it, is that as opposed to the normal NASA for clarifications? They're just, no, we're not doing it. Fuck off.
That's right. UFC fighter who pooped herself gets sponsors, offers
man,
for
I
butt
saw that.
wipes.
What?
There was a UFC fighter who soiled herself mid-fight,
Okay.
which led to it being smeared all over the canvas and stuff.
So somebody knocked the shit out of her for real?
Literally, that you can imagine the headlines. Yeah,
See, Ed likes
she
that
has
pun.
not been treated.
Yeah, that
she
was
has
good.
not been treated kindly by the world's media.
Wow.
Let's see what else we got here. What? Man named Meow Ludo Disco Gamma Meow Meow has transit pass implanted in hand.
Oh, he
Oh,
did this
okay.
the public transport thing, and he's had it put under his skin, so he just waves his hand over something now to access like train stations and stuff, something like that. I'm sure I read something about that somewhere.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I bet the NSA can track that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, that thing's got to have an RFID chip in it, I'd have thought, or something similar. Real easy to track that. It's been bugging me all night, and I doubt anyone listening is going to know, but I'll try and find it and post a link to it later. I read a great criminal novel once, like a detective novel, where the killer worked for a data mining company, and so they were able to access like shopping habits, people who'd had certain products installed in their home, and it went into detail about basically how the killer used access to this information to pick his victims.
Right.
But some of the stuff contained within that book, it's a work of fiction, but it's based on real life. And the stuff in particular about RFID tags is scary as fuck. I mean, he talks about like these things are implanted in the spines of library books.
Mm-hmm.
So, which you think, oh, okay, well, they're keeping track of their inventory or whatever. But that you got to bear in mind that also means that whoever has access to that information knows the reading habits of everybody who's taken a book out of the library.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one tiny piece of information, but what these data mining companies do is they look for traces of you or traces of a product or whatever it is they're trying to mine for, depending on what their clients requested. And they search everywhere that's publicly available and collect all of these tiny little bits of data together, and added together, they build up this incredibly complex, detailed picture of who you are, where you live, what your tastes are. Kind of like when you see targeted ads from cookies on websites, that then...
Right.
follow what you're interested in and send you ads. But this book postulates that it's actually possible to take this kind of data and go way, way further with it, to the point where you could design a program with a set of algorithms that would sort through all that kind of information and target specific people, specific, sort of culture sets. It's quite scary stuff. It's really bugging me. It might be a Jeffrey Deaver. I'm going to try and work it out, and I'll post a link in the group later if anyone wants to go and read the book. But it was scary but brilliant.
Well, we've got to wrap up the show, and I'll wrap it up with one last article. Man gets hit by a bus, walks it off straight to the pub. So man was... Yes, he is, actually. Yes, he is. A man was struck by an out-of-control bus, but he managed to walk it off and head straight to the pub. Video footage from Saturday morning shows Simon Smith, 53, as he's hit by a purple bus in Reading, England. Smith is catapulted across the sidewalk as debris fills the street. It's a gut-wrenching moment, and one that you'd expect to result in a trip to the hospital. But no, looks like everything's fine. This calls for a beverage. Smith casually dusted himself off and marched straight to the Purple Turtle Bar, according to The Guardian. No arrests have been made. Reading Bus has told the Telegraph that the driver has been, quote, taken off the road pending an investigation. Smith only suffered minor bruising. So,
wow.
Top lad.
There we go. That's good stuff. So join us next
Frankly,
week.
Anything happening in England is an excuse for a pint. The wind changes. Oh, that's a southeasterly time for a pint.
Yeah. Join us next week for Booty Call Protocol. Anybody got anything to say before we go?
No.
No, thanks for tuning in as always.
Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
And here comes Dr. Steele Conspiracy to take us out. Have a good night, guys.
Did we do the toast?
No?
Oops.
Hold on. We forgot the closing toast, so we're back.
And why not?
Anybody got one?
All right.
What do you got, Andrea?
I got a drink.
Oh, I thought you had a toast with what you're all writing there.
No. Come on.
Okay. Here's to getting hit by a bus and going to get a drink rather than getting a drink and feeling like you're hit by a bus.
Here.
Here.
Here's to that.
Dr. Steele Conspiracy. Good night.
Good night.
Night. Night. Good night, Ed.
Good night, sweetie.
Night, Kev.
Oh,
Good night.
hey. Before you guys go,
Yes.
Yeah.
are we still on Twitch?
Oh, thank you. Let me turn that off. Hold on. Good night, Twitch.
Good night, Jamie.